Great. I can see that we are live now. So without any further ado, let us begin. A very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you all to the Imitation Game, the last and the final event of Off the Cuff, our national level literary extravaganza, organized by the Public Speaking and Debating Society of HR College of Commerce and Economics. My name is Ayan. I serve as the Vice Chairperson to Off the Cuff and the Vice President of the Society, and I'll be your host for the day. Now, in the last two sentences, I've said this whole quantum of words. So let me just take a moment to tell you about all of those things. Let me start with the Public Speaking and Debating Society. So PSDS HR College was incepted somewhere around a decade back. And back in those days, even then, HR was known as this college that participates in fests and secures wins in fests. But still, there was no club that served the purpose of training people in public speaking and debating and giving them the platform to do the same. So it was back then that our seniors identified that need, and coupled with help from the faculty, the Public Speaking and Debating Society was incepted. So today, it gives me immense pleasure to inform you that not only has PSDS served and been extremely successful in its core purpose of giving people a platform for public speaking and giving people the proper training for public speaking, but we have also excelled and we are no longer restricted by the words public speaking and debating. The scope of activities that we cover go well beyond this scope. And let me just give you a few examples. We have had events that have helped people build their CVs. We have had poetry writing competitions, stand-up comedy shows, talent nights. All of this are a testimony to the fact that the Public Speaking and Debating Society now covers holistic development and ensures that once you're in it, now you are amongst people with whom you learn and you'll get a platform to best represent your talents. So that was about PSDS. Now let's move on to Off the Cuff. So Off the Cuff is the national, well, it is national this year. Earlier it was not. Off the Cuff is basically the annual flagship event of PSDS. It was started 8 years ago. This is the eighth edition of Off the Cuff. And this is the first time that we're having it national, which is a big thing. So I believe the most important thing about that we deserve to know about Off the Cuff is that even though we were having it for the past 7 years, we were able to make it national this year because we saw opportunity where people see problems. We saw that, okay, everything is online this year. People are having difficulties. But one thing that has been positive because of the lockdown is that pan India and global connectivity has increased because of the way in which we can connect virtually. So we sort of capitalized on that opportunity and we made Off the Cuff national. This is not the only thing that has improved in Off the Cuff, ladies and gentlemen. There have been so many more things that have been innovated with Off the Cuff. This year, we decided to have Off the Cuff slightly differently. So if you think that this is just a normal fest that you're a part of, you can leave that thought process behind you. I wanted to say at home, but then I realized that you all are sitting at home, so I didn't say that. So you can leave that thought process behind because Off the Cuff is no longer a conventional cultural fest. It is a national level literary extravaganza. So what that basically translates to is that we have 5 events that cover a span of 4 months. So from January to April, we had 5 very amazing events. The first one was a talent night. The second was a stand-up comedy show. The third one was a turn for debate. The fourth one was an essay submission competition. And today we are in the grand finale of Off the Cuff, that is the Imitation Game, which is a character debate. Now, let me just talk to you a little bit about the Imitation Game. So, everyone who is an experienced public speaker would have had played his hands in the various formats that we have: Asian Parliamentary, Turncoat, Oxford, Cambridge, would have even attempted model UN conferences at some or the other point in their life. So we thought that, okay, what innovation can we bring within Off the Cuff? What innovation can we have in terms of the events that we have? It is then that the idea of a character debate occurred to us, because I feel it is the perfect amalgamation of you having to follow a structure while also having individual freedom to express your opinion. So in a character debate, everyone is allotted a topic and a character, and they have to express their views while being in the premise of what their character would have done, which I feel is an amazing way to enhance your oratory, public speaking, negotiating, and debating skills. With that extensive introduction, guys, I would now like to move further. So today on board with us, we have two very talented judges. So I'll start with introducing the first one. Our first judge for today is Mr. Yash Tiwari, who is an international youth mentor, and he has delivered 5 TED Talks at the world-renowned platform of TED, all by the age of 18. He even has a Josh Talk, which has amassed nearly 500,000 views. He is a public speaker, mental health awareness advocate, and award-winning author of 2 books and a youth influencer. He received the India Book of Records as well as the Asia Book of Records International Award for being the youngest author ever to write a fictional novel on COVID-19. It was for his book that goes by the name Pandemic 2020, Riffle of the Virus. Yash has delivered thought-provoking sessions, that's webinars, all across the world in regions like Nigeria, Cameroon, Canada, Ghana, New York City, etc. We are delighted to have you on board, Yash. Would you want to say a few words to the audience and the participants?
Thank you so much, Ayan, for having me. Just 1 second. Hello, can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yes, you're perfectly audible.
All right, wonderful. Thank you so much for such a warm introduction about the event as well as such a warm welcome. I feel very humbled and delighted to be on the platform today and judging a debate competition after participating in so many in my school days. And definitely the concept which you have talked about over here for the debate competition is truly wonderful. It is exciting and it is out of the box. I mean, even personally, I haven't been a part of the kind of competition that you guys have conceptualized over here. So I feel very much excited to be judging the participants and yeah, looking forward to the event, looking forward to, I would say, a holistic as well as a wonderful debate ahead with all the participants. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for that wonderful address. Now I would be introducing our second judge for today. So the second judge for today is Rosalind Piera. She is an actor, singer, dancer, musician, radio host, and a content creator. So she is truly an all-rounder in performing arts. A seasoned theater actress, Rosalind starred as Loretta, the titular character in a musical production, performing all over the country. She's also a director and a writer. And her production, He Says, She Days, garnered rave reviews. She is a host and an anchor for entertainment and corporate events as well. Her performance as Aunt Maggie has over 200 plus episodes on YouTube and a fan base of thousands on social media platforms. She is also a mentor with the Take Charge program and really believes in giving back to the society. She has excelled at every endeavor that she has been a part of, and we are truly lucky to have you on board, ma'am. So can you just step ahead and address the audience and the participants?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that. Dog has more to say than I do. Shush. Yeah, thank you. I'm really excited about being part of this debate competition, the Imitation game. I love that name to begin with. And yeah, I think it's challenging enough to be articulate with your thoughts. I think the next level is to be able to do it under pressure, which is what these kind of competitions give you the opportunity to do. Because many times in life, we have only one shot and a really, really small window in which to make our point and to be heard and to actually kind of step out in the spotlight and break the noise, so to speak. We're competing constantly against a million voices, whether it's on social media or whether it's in life, in our family scenarios, whatever that might be. So these kind of platforms are amazing. And then to be given the additional challenge of doing it as a character and to stay within that framework, keeping those multiple things in mind. I think your mind is basically functioning at various levels. And to be able to do that right now, I'm really excited to see, because you guys are all young minds. I'm sure I move much slower than you do, so I'll be literally trying to keep up with whatever you have planned. I'm sure you all have done your research, practiced a bit in front of the mirror, and I'm really, really excited to see how this pans out. So thank you for having me to be part of this.
Thank you for that wonderful address, ma'am. Now, I would like to call upon our presidents, Vanchika Mithani and Manusharesh Rao, to address the attendees. Guys, the stage is all yours.
Thank you, Ayan. And it was so wonderful hearing both the judges. I think they completely did full justice to the excitement that we're harboring. So thank you for that to both the esteemed judges. Hello everyone, greetings. I am Vanshika Mithani, the chairperson for the year 2021. And it is with immense pleasure that I would like to welcome you all to an event supremely close to all our hearts. Today marks a special day for us as we are all set to witness the national grand finale, the final event of our flagship PSDS National Intercollegiate Literary Extravaganza, HR College's first ever national level event series, Off the Cuff 2021. Off the Cuff 2021, in the format that it has premiered in this year, started as a dream, a vision, an aim to do something outside of the ordinary, to make sure everyone gets a chance to showcase their talent, to step out of their comfort zone, to enhance their skills, and to organize as well as participate in a national event, making the most out of their college life. 4 months ago, 4 months ago, we embarked upon this journey. The PSDS team back then had already finished 6 events. And in January 2021, we launched Off the Cuff flagship series, which instead of the 2 or 3 day fest format, premiered as a 4 month national extravaganza with 5 national level events. It is a bittersweet moment today as we come to the end of our magnum opus, but it is also a cue for me to take the opportunity and commend the work of all the PSDS members for this academic year. This year has been exceptional in every sense of the word. 2 intercollegiate fests, launching a national level event series, getting international participation for the same, collaborating with Snapchat and IITs and IIMs, winning multiple intercollegiate events, even on the participation front. I think our OC today here has just got done with winning 2 podiums in the last 1 week. It won the first place in the overall podium at the flagship literary fest we participated in, as well as grades. So I think I couldn't be more grateful for the team that we have on board with us. And that being said, none of this would be possible without our backbone, without our teachers in charge, Geeta Sahu ma'am, who will be joining us shortly and will be gracing the occasion with her presence, along with our support system and an unending source of inspiration for all of us. I think I speak for the entire PSDS team, if not HR College, when I say this, our principal in charge, Pooja Ramchandani ma'am. So with that, I'd like to conclude and take the opportunity to call upon the chairperson for the 2021, Manashesh Rao.
Thank you very much, Vanshika. Guys, am I audible first of all? Yeah, so I think it really happens that being from the public speaking and debating society, I find myself nervous to speak, but I think it's happened today because we have 2 such amazing judges with us. I think, sir, ma'am, after hearing your qualification, I think we should just skip my speech and begin the event. But like it's been said before by our amazing chairperson and our vice chairperson, this year is a different one. And why do we keep repeating it? Because it bears repetition. Never before have we been in a situation in our lives where we've been locked up at home for a year. Let's look at our backgrounds today. You know, we're not in our college auditoriums. I'm not able to give this speech standing at a podium addressing all of you. You can see my CA books in the background, and all of us are sitting at home, having been through hundreds of Zoom meetings and hundreds of events. And the fact that all of us are still excited enough to attend another one, I think is a testament to the hard work that's been put in by this entire team, this entire OC. So congratulations to the entire OC, our vice chairperson, our chairpersons, the core committee. Thank you, all of you. The fact that we've managed to garner another audience after a year of lockdown, and who knows how many more lockdowns, is an achievement in itself. Speaking a little more about what Ayan said, yes, it's a completely different fest this year. It's a national fest, not only national, but also international. I think all of us, having been in college at some point in our lives, especially our judges, will be able to relate. It's difficult enough to organize a fest on your own in college, trying to figure out how to get people. People don't want to come from Andheri to Churchgate. Think about from all over India and even the world. trying to figure out transportation, nitty-gritty details, trying to figure out budgets. The fact that this year has been so different has been a blessing for us. We have managed to get contestants all the way from Delhi to Chennai, Visakhapatnam, from the Northeast, all over India, and even international from countries like the US, from Kuwait, and even Kyrgyzstan. So I think the fact that that level of appreciation and that level of participation is present this year is something that's really special. Moving on, like Ayan said, this year, the Public Speaking and Debating Society, we're not just focusing on public speaking and debating, we're expanding our purview way beyond that. We have arranged events, debates in normal forms like the Cambridge format, Oxford format, and now we move on to the imitation game, which is a completely different, unheard of format. And I myself can't wait to see how it pans out. We've organized webinars with alumni from Harvard, IITs, Stanford, trying to ensure that all of our members get something or the other at the end of this year. And the one thing that we always say at the Public Speaking and Debating Society, it doesn't matter whether you've attended 10 months, whether you've attended 10 debates, it doesn't matter whether you're an expert public speaker or a complete novice, there's a place here for you. And by the end of the year, we guarantee now that we are at the end of the year, that I'm sure all of our members here today, from event heads, subheads to even members, have taken something back from our club. And I think that is our biggest achievement. In conclusion, I would again like to thank the entire team here, our amazing vice chairpersons, Ayan and Yash, who were instrumental in this event, our entire organizing committee, core committee, and of course, our principal, Pooja ma'am and Geeta ma'am. And like you, I myself can't wait to see what happens. Thank you very much. Back to you, Ayan.
Thank you so much, Vanshika and Manushresh, for those amazing words. I believe not only did they convey to the audience what Off the Cuff and PSDS has become, but they also, I believe, would have been instrumental in motivating the participants because they now know how great of an event they are a part of and how successful this series has been so far. Anyway, without any further ado, I would now like to call upon my co-chairperson, Yash Rajani, who has exclusively for this event written a piece of poetry that he has named The Imitation Game. So Yash, the stage is all yours.
Thank you, Ayan. So I was originally supposed to host with Ayan, but that was not possible for me. But I said, it's the last event, I have to do something. So I wrote The Imitation Game. When the world was still full of innocence and hope, we were just children who were asked a question. I remember you said, when I grow up, I want to be an astronaut, a singer, a princess, a scientist, a poet. No one questioned it. We were just children who were asked a question with a million options. We were just children who knew better than those older, that we could live multiple lives and multiple plot lines, freedom in sight, journeys from kilometers now in miles, faces that would change of theirs and mine, fervent passion that extends into the horizon. I am you, and I am you, and you, and you, and you. I may not have lived your life, but I see the wrinkles near your eyes, running mascara with the lies, and the childhood in your smile. I see the heaviness of your story. I know I have never lived it before, but I would give anything to do so. All I know, one day, a long time ago, you were a child who was asked a question. You said, when I grow up, I want to be an astronaut, a singer, a princess, a scientist, a poet. You could have if you didn't listen to those who were older. You could have if you pressed play. If only you realized it was a game, the imitation game. Thank you and welcome to the imitation game.
Thank you so much, Yash. I feel like having a poetic start to things is always great. Not only does it create a positive vibe, but it also just rejuvenates what we have to say. I feel it reinstills that confidence that we might have been lacking, which is, I think, necessary for an event such as this that is so competitive. So thank you so much, Yash. Now, we are just about to begin with the first debate. So let me just brief everyone regarding the guidelines and the rules and regulations for this. So this event shall see two debates. Each event shall be contested on a different topic. Within each debate, every speaker shall get 90 seconds to deliver their opening statements, post which their character will be revealed to the audience. A warning message will be put in the chat box at 75 seconds and another one at 90 seconds, indicating that the speaker's time has lapsed. Once all the 6 speakers of the first debate have delivered their opening statements, we shall then move into the rebuttal round, which would be for a total of 15 minutes. The rebuttal round, although unmoderated, is expected to happen in a situation of discipline and decorum. Moving on, upon completion of the rebuttal round, each speaker shall then get 60 seconds to deliver their closing statements. A warning message shall be put in the chat box at 45 seconds and another one at 60 seconds, indicating that the speaker's time has lapsed. This format shall be constant across both the debates. So I believe with that, we have the guidelines and the rules clear to the participants and to the audience, and we can finally begin with the first debate that we have. So the first debate that we have is, I think, a very interesting one. The topic for the first debate is democracy is better than dictatorship. And we have an amazing lineup of characters. I personally can't even contain my excitement because of the kind of people that we have in this debate. So without any further ado, I would like to call upon the first speaker for the topic, democracy is better than dictatorship, which is Kunal Sakhrani. Kunal would be speaking for the motion.
Marshmallow. Oh, I'm sorry. Welcome everyone to this debate. I am for the motion that democracy is a better form of government. Democracy is a legitimate government. In democracy, people have fundamental rights and duties. People get to choose who governs their countries. You and I can choose who governs the countries. That means you and I are government makers. Democracies usually favor better economically and socially. Let's take an example of USA. See what they're doing. They're so big. And for the other way around, let's take an example of Uganda or Pakistan. See what they're doing. Democracy has consistency. If something happens to the government, someone else will take its place. But in dictatorship, that is simply not possible. If I happen to shoot Kim Jong-un, who will succeed him? The biggest challenge in dictatorship is you cannot find good successors to the dictators. That's my opening statement, and that is it. Dismissed.
Thank you so much, Kunal. So before we reveal the character, any guesses for what character Kunal was playing while he was speaking? Guesses are welcome in the chat box. Oh, I believe we have ample amount of guesses because Kunal was just extremely appropriate with his performance. So Rajas, can we have a screen share to declare who the character was that Kunal was playing?
I'm tired of politics. Let's get that punk, Bloodso. This.
Thank you so much, Rajas. So you can see how well Kunal played it. The accent was extremely identical to what Captain Holt actually does. So good job, Kunal. Next speaker that we have for today is Amolika Kumar, who would be speaking against the motion.
Yes. Let me know when my time starts.
You can start speaking now.
So good afternoon. Usually I would not be this respectful, but I hope you're having a great time. And I'm known for being quite vexing, and I'm just forewarning you. And I hope my opinions don't offend you. They gave me the topic is democracy better than dictatorship, but all I could see is dictatorship is better. I'll not beat around the bush and put forward 4 points: the ease, the power, the time, and the fear. Dictatorship is easy, and after all, who likes getting all the hard work done, right? And should I call it democracy or democracy? Because there is so much opposition, the criticism, the red tapeism. Who wants all the energies get wasted? And rather, we should just go and rob some banks, right? Then it comes to the power. I feel ruling and power are two things that go hand in hand. If you get to rule, you get the power. And if you got the power, I think you're meant to rule. And dictatorship is the very thing that comes with power. And it provides the efficient and prompt administration that's needed. Thirdly, the time. Who likes to wait and get delayed anyway? The quicker, the better. And lastly, the fear. It creates fear. Oh, my favorite thing, creating fear. When fear is created, the task is done. And that's what you want, right? Yeah, people may say the corruption, but at least dictatorship has it on face, you losers. So dictatorship is the way out. And I think that is what challenges me personally. Thank you.
Thank you, Amolika. So guys, any guesses what anarchic character was Amolika playing? I believe we have so many guesses, all of them indicate in the right direction. So Rajas, why don't you let them know?
Harley Quinn, nice to meet you. Love your perfume. What is that? The stench of death?
Thank you so much, Rajas. So guys, you were indeed right. It was Harley Quinn. Thank you for that performance. Let's move ahead. Next up, we have Aryan, who will be speaking for the motion.
Hello, yes, kindly confirm.
I'm sorry?
Kindly confirm if I'm perfectly audible and visible.
Yes, you're audible and visible. You may start now.
All right. Good evening to one and all. I announced my US 2020 presidential election campaign on 4th July the last year. So I was writing my rap song and the lyric of that song came into my mind, which says, "You are going to run for a president." That is, I want to go through the elections. That is a democratic process in which I would be elected by the people, creating a government of the people, working directly for the benefits of people. So let us get back onto the main point. Is democracy better than dictatorship? Definitely yes. So I was an African, which was like a class that wasn't really degraded, that was really degraded in America. So I took that motive, I took that aim to become the president, and I succeeded finally. Although not succeeded, but I was in the race. So democracy was a process that provided me with ample amount of opportunities to be in that game, to compete with the leaders out there, to serve for the humanity. And that is why I would like to say that democracy is better than dictatorship for sure. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Aryan. So yes, guys, any guesses for the character Aryan was playing? Okay, we have guesses again. And Rajas, please do the honors.
Hear about slavery for 400 years? For 400 years, that sounds like a choice. Like, you was there for 4.
Okay, so it is in fact Kanye West. So thank you for that, Aryan. Before we proceed, I'd request the individuals whose opening statements are over to now rename themselves as per the character. So as and when your opening statements are done, please rename yourself as per the character that you've been allotted. So now let's move further. Next up, I'd like to call upon Sangeeta Shinoy, who would be speaking against the motion.
Am I audible and visible?
Yes, Sangeeta.
Okay, so shall I start?
Yes, you may start.
Okay. मैं यहाँ दो प्रमुख शासक प्रकारों पर चर्चा और बहस करने के लिए हूँ। वे है लोकतंत्र और तानाशाही। मैं यहाँ आपको तानाशाही के फायदे बताने वाला हूँ और लोकतंत्र पर कुछ सवाल उठाना चाहता हूँ। भारतीयों ने अपने हिस्ट्री से, अपने इतिहास से आज तक कुछ भी नहीं सीखा है। जब भी वे आपस में लड़ते हैं तो एक बाहरी व्यक्ति उन्हें गुलाम बना लेता है। यहाँ के लोगों की मानसिकता में कोई एकता नहीं है और इसलिए ब्रिटिश लोगों ने इन पर 150 साल तक राज किया और अभी भी वे फिर से वही गलती दोहरा रहे हैं। लोकतंत्र की सभी दंगों का ही मूल कारण है। अगर लोग केवल एक फैसले पर टिके रहने में सक्षम नहीं है तो हम कैसे उम्मीद कर सकते हैं कि लोकतंत्र अच्छा प्रशासन करने में सक्षम होगा। अलेक्जेंडर ने कहा है कि अगर एक शेर द्वारा भेड़ की एक सेना का नेतृत्व किया जाता है तो वह सेना कई युद्ध जीत सकती है और उस सेना को सबसे शक्तिशाली सेना माना जाता है। ठीक उसी प्रकार इन भेड़ों जैसे लोगों को तानाशाह जैसे शेर का नेतृत्व करने की आवश्यकता होती है और तभी देश की प्रगति होगी। पुराने समय में लोग राजाओं के शासन के दौरान कभी आपस में नहीं लड़ते थे और सजा प्रणाली इतनी सख्त थी कि कभी किसी को गलती करने की हिम्मत नहीं होती थी। लोग शासकों से डरते थे और शासक लोगों के कल्याण के लिए लगातार विचार करते थे।
Sangeeta, you have 15 seconds left. Are you done?
Yes, I am done.
Okay, great. So, okay, guys. So now, any guesses for Sangeeta's character? So we have so many names, all the right names. Okay, a different guess. Any other suggestions, any other guesses, guys? I guess none. So Rajas, please do the honors.
Mogembo. Khushua. Mogembo! Khushua!
Thank you, Rajas. You know, the one thing about Mogambo that always sends chills down my spine is the way in which, you know, he says Mogambo Khush Hua, because that's just so iconic. It's so classic. And I can't even tell you how amazing that felt. So thank you. So next character that we have, I beg your pardon, the next individual that I'd like to call upon is Manushka Kenia, who would be speaking for the motion.
Am I visible and audible?
Yes, Manushka, you're perfectly visible and audible.
I'll begin my speech in 3, 2, 1, go. I volunteer as tribute to explain to you why democracy is better than dictatorship. It's fairly obvious if you've seen me in my movies and you've seen the struggle I've been through and you've seen the hunger, the poverty, the oppression, and President Snow being the person that he is and all the atrocities he committed against the people of my district and the people of all the other districts and the games he created out of us. I don't want that anymore. And it's fairly obvious that the metric by which this debate should be adjudicated is where are the people most benefited and where are the people most respected. And it's pretty obvious dictatorship is not it, because I am not here to go through that trauma again. I am not here to be someone else's scapegoat. And I am not here to repeat the same mistakes that President Snow did, and so did Coins. And I killed them for a reason. And that reason is democracy stands, and democracy is the only form of government which should exist in our paradigm today and in the world today. And yes, fire is catching, and if we burn, you burn along with us. So all the dictators right now, watch me. Thank you.
Thank you, Marusha, for that rather aggressive performance. Okay, there are suggestions even before I could ask for them. I mean, that's even better. So let me just look at what the suggestions are. I think they're pointing in the right direction. So Rajas, why don't you go ahead and tell them?
I want the rebels to know that I'm alive. That I'm in District 8, where the capital just bombed a hospital.
Thank you, Rajas. So thank you for that performance, Marusha. Let's proceed. So the last opening statement that we have for this topic, it will be delivered by Adhit Shetty. So Adhit, the stage is all yours.
Wawa viva. Thank you. Good morning, people of Adia. What Mahmood? I apologize, people of India. We look the same mukhwas. Same mukhwas. Or sometimes your wife look like mine. Sometimes there is kidnapping. But let me assure you that she gets the best 5-star hotel services in our country or concentration camp. And let me talk about this hideous outfit first. First, I was looking for a dictator friend after the death of my close friend Kim. I will miss you, Kim. I will miss you, Kim. The point is, then I found another dictator friend, which was Amit Shah. And now he has given me this outfit with another flag of flowers on it. I don't know what to do with it. But after the debate, basically a secret agent, unnamed secret agent whose name is totally not Ayan, and he's totally not the vice president of the PSDS, told me that people are speaking about democracy. I'll be damned to be Israeli Jew if I talk about democracy. Dictatorship is the best. Dictatorship is the hummus to my kebab. Democracy leads to the rights. People want freedom of speech. In my country, there's freedom of speech, but people don't use it because maybe I've just cut off the tongue. Maybe of some sub-Saharan. Now let me talk about democracy. Democracy leads to division of nation. Politicians lie to you. There is corruption. There is inefficiency in government. That never happens with me. When people attack my country, I attack them back instead of discussion. And that's what I want India to be like Wadia, the best nation in the world. I want Ayan, my secret agent, whom I'm totally not exposed, to take over again. Thank you.
Adit, yeah, the time is up. I mean, as much as I'd love to continue that performance, but unfortunately the time is up. So do we even need to guess that one? Because I think we all have this picture and it has been painted well and we know who this is. So Rajas, why don't you just tell them?
We are 2 months away from enriching weapons-grade uranium.
Which will be only used for peaceful purposes.
Good job at completing that. I had no clue you had memorized the lines. Good character impersonation, Adit. So with that, we come to the end of the round of the opening statements. Once again, I request the participants to rename themselves according to their character now, those who have had their opening statements. So you can have a moment to do that. So I believe you all must have renamed yourselves by now. So with this, we now officially enter into the rebuttal round. The rebuttal round will be worth 15 minutes. You shall have a warning when 5 minutes are remaining, and another warning shall be put up when 15 minutes have elapsed. While the discussion will be unmoderated, I request you to not go into utter chaos. The stage is now yours, guys. The rebuttal round starts now.
Before we start, I want to state one thing to all the participants. It's okay, speak freely. Your family is totally safe with us. They are learning new stuff. They are totally safe to ask anything freely. Anything about dictatorship, anything about democracy. Ask freely, please. I feel, it is my Vadian internet, also sponsored by Reliance.
Yeah, Mr. Aladeen, I have a small query for you.
Is this the Shire or is this Kanye West?
It is Kanye West.
Okay, great.
Yeah, from US, the American rapper. I hope you know. I hope you listen to rap songs, no?
No, I listen to only small kids crying in my concentration camp.
Okay. So taking that question forward, yes. How do you guys take the perspective of people in your country? Since you mentioned that you are a dictator, how do you reach out to small people?
Reach out to small people. I meet them in my 5-star hotels, have a little talk with them. And after that, if they don't listen to me, then maybe I send them to Chop Stop Square. Let me tell you, there is nothing wrong with this. They all agree. They all want to be oppressed. I have asked them.
You have asked them?
Yes.
And you treat them like animals because they said they want to be treated like animals.
You're talking about treating like animals. You kill people in Hunger Games.
Yes, we were forced to kill them. We were forced to kill them. Now we've destroyed the capital, so the games end with that. What about that?
Listen, madam, if I had uranium, the first thing before bombing Israel, I would bomb capital to help you out. But now I don't think so that is going to be possible, because you are leading the worst democracy ever. Dictatorship it is. If
But
I
you
was the
don't-
king of capital, I would not allow you to speak.
Exactly my point. Why would someone make you the government if you don't even let them speak? I don't think you're doing it out of choice. You're forcing yourself upon them.
I totally agree with
Madam,
Kathy's
you
point.
just defined dictatorship. Are you well read?
Exactly my point. If you're going to force upon them, what is the point of that government? You're just oppressive and basically completely evil and demonic in that sense, because you don't care about them. So why are you governing them?
Ma'am, let me simply tell you.
You're just a hegemonic power.
Hegemonic. Mahmoud, please search hegemonic. I am tired of this English. I need to get more words. Hegemonic. We need Mahmoud.
You can't leave everything to satire. You need to like address the problem.
Satire, please. The satires also. Now let me come back.
May I speak?
Wait, Sub-Saharan.
Dictator Aladeen.
Sub-Saharan, wait.
Let me speak.
Sub-Saharan.
You are like this marshmallow. Your body is like this marshmallow. Once it crumbles, and may I eat this? It always gives me the chills.
Listen,
once you
Sub-Saharan.
die, what then?
Sub-Saharan, 1 second. First, like you, I don't get your point on how the related debate. Secondly, dictatorship is the way, because my people in my country have also voted for me without totally a tank taking over them, and they have
If you're a
supported me
dictator,
like always.
how can you get voted, bro?
Bro, oh my God. Yes, Katniss, 100%. Let me tell you one thing. There was in the middle the election which I held, which was totally democratic, and I got elected. And now they told me that they don't more no election because they want this dictator only. That's what I'm saying.
Did they tell you that, or did you manipulate them into telling you that?
Listen, it doesn't make sense. They told me that. I had this kid here, my pet Jew told me that he wants me to be the dictator. So I'm gonna keep it like that only.
You don't ask the pets, you ask the people in your country, nation.
Yes, my pet Jew is also
your zoo.
Homo sapien. So I feel he is also a human. So we want to.
Yeah, but it still doesn't defend all the bad stuff you do, right?
What bad stuff?
So I just have to like get an arrow and like shoot you and you disappear.
Or before you shoot me, you have to shoot 4 of my body doubles because their only job is to get shot in the head.
Don't worry, I have the eye for that. I can shoot anyone.
You have the eye for that. Okay, good one, lady. Haha, you are Joker woman. Good jokes.
Now you're also misogynistic. Okay.
Misogynistic, Mahmoud. Search misogynistic. I don't know these words. She's using big words. She forgets I'm Vadian. I never listen.
That's the problem. Dictators are pretty illiterate in that sense. All they care about is money and
I am the scholar of my country. 14 times I have been voted as the smartest person in Vadia, and also I have the dictionary in Vadia just contains.
So your dictionary doesn't contain human rights, does it?
What is human rights?
Exactly, it doesn't contain that, right?
But what is human rights?
Human rights is the basic dignity to live. Basic dignity to live, which you don't understand anyway. So what's the point in explaining it to you?
To live. Is that human rights? I just give them without human rights.
You don't give them human rights. You dictate how they live. That's not how a human wants to live. I don't think that's how you want to live.
Have you ever been to Vadia?
No, I don't want to be there.
Great. Before you come to Vadia, just like let me know. Maybe
I don't want to be oppressed.
On the way. There is no oppression. There is no oppression. You can go to any mall freely. You can only
So the people of your country can go against you if you do something wrong, and you'll be okay with that.
My country can't go against me because they love me. They plan to
I'm pretty sure you're not that perfect that you do everything correctly, right?
I'm perfect, lady. I have been voted as Vadia sexiest man alive for both male and female category also.
You don't have to
both
be sexy
male and
to be
female both love me.
You don't have to be sexy to be the government. You have to be legitimate.
That is not told to me here. I got to know.
Hold it.
Sub-Saharan
General Aladeen,
let me. Captain Holt, can he be killed? He's literally continuously cutting me. Thank you.
You still haven't explained to me why democracy is bad.
Democracy.
Let me ask you,
Is it because you're scared that people won't vote you with a
democracy? So many
democracy?
political parties and so many people are allowed to speak, yet no proper decision comes in.
Yes, but are you scared? Are you scared that you won't get voted if you give people the voice?
Half the votes don't even count.
You are not answering the question.
Congress.
Aladeen,
Congress,
listen to me. Aladeen, listen to me. If you think you're so sexy, then I think you should have a democracy and let the people vote because they love you so much, right? So they'll vote for you. Don't be so scared and insecure.
They already did, Katniss. I already told. They voted for me.
But they voted for you. Let's have votes every 4 years.
Every 4 years, it is just a waste of time. They'll vote for
or
me.
your
again and
insecurity
again.
is, I mean, your security is only stable enough to handle it once.
My security, my army loves to go for voting sessions and also shooting sessions.
The army doesn't have to be
not
there
talk
for
about the
vote.
shooting sessions.
I don't think you understand democracy and voting and election and enfranchisement, but I think it means that you get to vote for the president every 4 years.
Hold it.
You get to vote for your government.
Hold it.
Wait, Sub-Saharan. Let me continue and answer to the
No, General Aladeen, this is not Republic News Channel and it's not 9 p.m. and Arnab is not
Aladeen
just
is
stop.
insecure,
Let me
Captain Holt.
ask
Totally
Don't
not,
waste your breath on him.
Let me ask you this.
totally not controlled by the government.
Let me ask you.
Yeah, go ahead, Sub-Saharan. Ask me.
Have you ever experienced fear?
Experience fear?
Have you ever experienced fear?
He's
fear
the perpetrator of fear, Captain Holt.
Yes, Osama bin Laden was in my washroom and he couldn't flush every time. The flush was choked. Was fear. Can't even go to the washroom.
So guys, before you proceed, just a reminder, I encourage all of you to participate equally because there are points for rebuttal. So I just want you to participate equally. Just a reminder. You may continue.
Thank you, Secret Agent Ayan, whom I
You see how the other two dictators are so quiet because they have nothing to say? You're just talking.
We're just waiting for you to finish, Katniss. We're just waiting for you to finish. Yeah.
I'm not going to stop.
You
Fire
say
is hot. I need to keep burning, and so do you.
You say democracy is so flawless. You say democracy is so flawless, but have you seen the condition in India? Even having a democracy, the things are so.
Yeah, but that is because the government is authoritarian. That's not because people don't want democracy.
Katniss, I have one question. Do you believe Captain Holt is educated?
Yes, of course.
He literally called Pakistan a dictatorship. A stupid man doesn't know that there is election in Pakistan every 4 years.
It's authoritarian, which means it's
Aladeen,
towards
I have a small question for you.
Aladeen, you still not explain to me what is so good or bad about democracy. You just glorified your own
I
position.
literally talked about democracy because
You
there are
only
so
spoken
many
about how
parties.
sexy you are and how
See, that's the reason democracy is
You
not
haven't spoken
allowed
about the
because
people
people
you
like you
govern.
keep on speaking.
That's not the government I want.
Let me
I
talk
want a
about
government which
election.
doesn't let me stay hungry, which doesn't let me be in poverty.
Mahmood, what is this? What have I come for? Call up Amit Shah and tell him this lady needs to be picked up as soon as possible.
All right.
Exactly. The minute someone criticizes you, you want them killed or kidnapped or shot, and that is okay.
proof,
You
lady.
legitimize that.
Proof, madam. Let me talk about simple thing. Democracy contains what? Political inefficiency because there are so many parties, so many people just dividing on the name of religion.
There is no division and there is an
no
accountability.
unity in the country.
There is an accountability and there is a 4-year gap. Democracy
bury
not-
themselves in democracy. You come on saying democracy, but they're running a dictatorship. Even you.
It's very simple. No man is good enough to govern someone if there is no consent.
But people don't get their human rights.
Better things.
You have human rights.
And you are saying you gave human rights?
Captain General
rights is
Aladeen,
you yourself
let us
democracy,
take.
don't give human
Yeah.
rights.
So there is very small question for you, Aladeen. Like,
How small?
are you educated? A
How
very
small?
simple question.
Yeah.
You're
You know what
educated,
human rights
Aladeen?
are and you're living in the 21st century.
I am living in Wadia, and your privileged ass couldn't understand that
Yes,
there is
but
a
we're
little
discussing
difference.
right now. You just have to stay in character, not in your time. Evolve.
सुनो यहाँ पर जो लोग भी डेमोक्रेसी के फॉर्म में बोल रहे हैं उनके लिए मतलब लोकतंत्र के जो भी फॉर्म में बोल रहे हैं उनके लिए मेरे पास कुछ तमाम सवाल है. आप उसके जवाब दे पाओगे कि मतदाताओं को पता है, यानी कि वोटर्स को पता ही नहीं है कि कौन भरोसेमंद राजनेता है, तो फिर वे किससे वोट देंगे?
There is a statement. There is one thing named as nota. None of the above. Nota is there.
I don't understand your Hindi first of all, but I still learned it because I
understand you were the nota for the US president election, but basically I want to understand, if everybody votes nota, who will become the president, the supreme leader of India?
But there has never been a scenario where everyone's voted nota.
Yes, because people are in your country lie about giving the human rights.
Yes, there is no lie. We are given human rights.
About
manipulating. We have the opportunity to criticize, which is not the case in your country.
All right. Aladeen, just a very small query. I believe you have 118 PhDs, if I'm not wrong.
No, 127 now.
27. Oh, great. So lockdown is like efficient for you. So the question over here was,
can this woman just keep quiet? Yes, Kanye West, I'd like to hear your rap.
Yes.
The rapper. Yep, rapper. So the question here is, like, how did you study those PhDs? Was it like your teacher was imposing the questions on you and you were asked to like go with the flow and like cram all those things? Or like was it a collaborative learning?
The question about my PhD is national security. I can't give you the most information, but let me tell you one thing. I've studied it in and out.
I am tired.
Sub-Saharan, everybody got me. Sub-Saharan, wait, Sub-Saharan. Let me continue and answer.
I just have one question for the dictators, and that is, are your people really happy? Have your people really voted for you? And if you can answer in the affirmative.
Carrying Katniss point forward, are you all people happy and are the citizens in your country happy? Just
the question can be easily turned to, even in a democracy, people are not happy. So what's the point?
Yes, but when they're not happy, it's not a platform to speak. But where is not the case?
Number one in happiness index.
In a dictatorship, the minute you say something against the dictator, you're either shot or you're put behind bars. So there is no proof of that.
As mentioned by Admiral,
at least that's better.
How is that better? Just be on the other side.
Are you forgetting Munwar Farooqui?
As a dictator, you're obviously going to say that's better because no one's criticizing me.
To jail because they spoke against your regime.
Exactly my point, buddy. No one wants that.
There is no difference in your democracy and a dictatorship.
I just want you to be...
Everybody's fighting for power.
I just want you to be under a dictatorship and let me see if you survive.
Every story is not fictional.
Let me speak.
Alexander.
Now it's time for Captain Holt to say something. Shut your mouth. We know why it's called dictatorship. We can see who is sitting in front of it. This is dictatorship. I know it. Now shut it. Democracy is better than dictatorship. It's been proven across 200 years of all the human history. We can see right now.
How is it proven? That is your opinion, Captain.
Because the 20 most richest countries are democratic, whereas all the ones which are dictatorship have people disenfranchised, have people stuck in poverty, whereas the rich become richer. It's all capitalistic.
Listen, try to come to Wadi. Everybody tries to
I need you to prove to me why people would want to be puppets.
That's how it is.
Okay, you're just acting blonde.
Okay, so guys, with that, I believe we come to the end of a rather chaotic rebuttal round. So 15 minutes have elapsed. And I'm afraid you can no longer speak. However, all of you shall have the last opportunity to deliver speeches, voice your opinions in the closing round. So with this, I believe we can now start with the round of closing statements. Once again, we shall proceed in order. I would like to invite Captain Holt to deliver his closing statements.
One of the worst rebuttal I have ever seen. I don't know how this can happen when there's someone so brilliant like Katniss and all these people. They're just going wild. I told you this is not Republic TV. With that, I'd like to conclude that democracy is better. You cannot beat democracy. I am tired of all the politics that's going around here. Democracy is better. Once General Aladeen dies, his wadia goes down, everything finishes. It will happen with every dictator. As Einstein said, genius dictators are succeeded by scoundrels. I don't know if he's a scoundrel. He is a scoundrel. How did you come to power, man? This is just the worst. Democracy is the best. And there is one reason why it's called dictatorship. I think you know, if you watch movies, watch American TV, you would get it. And don't ask me to explain it because I can't, because my mother will hit me. Or that the last part.
The time has lapsed. Thank you, Captain Holt, for those remarks. Next, I'd like to call upon Harley Quinn to deliver her final remarks now. You have the floor, Harley.
I have been consistently trying to say this again and again, that I don't see any difference in democracy and dictatorship presently, as Katniss very well mentioned, that we are living in the 21st century and democracy is nothing but short-term dictatorship as of now. We're seeing people being killed and the data being hidden. And if dictatorship is something that is taking the accountability for it on the face value and letting the people know that, yes, I am the one killing it, I think that is what real fearless government should be like, rather than being hidden or being afraid to admit it. So, and I'm yet to see any politician who actually is truly transparent. So I don't know how democracy is any better than dictatorship, or rather any different than dictatorship. Thank you.
Thank you, Harley. Next, we have Kanye West, who will deliver his closing remarks now.
All right. So first of all, I would like to mention that I do not like crying children in my countries. Rather, I like people who would give me the suggestions. So if you're a Can Vice fan, you are not a fan of me, but you are a fan of yourself because you believe in yourself. That is what the ideology of democracy. That is a government of the people, for the people, and by the people, where minorities are treated equally, where all the decisions of all the classes are taken equally by mutual decisions of the ministries. The government is accountable to the people, and there is equal status of people in the country. The decisions are taken equally, and army doesn't intervene in the functioning of a country, as mentioned by Aladeen. That happens in his country. So long story short, democracy is the need of the hour, and democracy is definitely better than dictatorship. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Kanye. Next, I'd like to call upon Mogambo to deliver the closing remarks.
जैसे कि हमने अभी ये डिबेट में देखा कि ये पूरे डिबेट को ध्यान रखते हुए अभी मैं भी अपने ही बात पे अड़ा हुआ हूँ कि तानाशाही लोकशाही से एक कदम बढ़कर ही है, और मेरे तानाशाही में जो भी मेरी बात सुनकर रहेगा वो एकदम खुश रहेगा, और इतना करके देश का विकास भी तभी होगा जब मैं खुश रहूंगा.
Okay, I believe Mogambo is done with her remarks. Now, I'd like to call upon Katniss Everdeen to deliver her closing statement.
Through that unmoderated caucus, we've realized one thing. Dictators are obsessed with themselves. Dictators don't care about the people they are ruling. They just care about profits, chicks, and being sexy, as was elucidated by Aladeen. So I'm just going to say that we live in the 21st century where everyone wants rights, where everyone wants to be heard. And that is possible through a democracy because accountability is much more. Because in a dictatorship, like they said, the people who are criticizing the government are then shot, killed, or put behind bars. And that's not what we want. We want to be heard. We want to be able to criticize, because that's the only way a government improves. No government is perfect, but if there's no room for improvement, what's the point of the government? We don't want to be ruled by someone who doesn't really care about us. That's not a reasonable human state of mind. And for all those reasons, I believe democracy is better. Dictators have just glorified themselves throughout the debate. They have not really explained why a dictatorship helps people. And so I believe I take the debate, and yes, see you. Bye.
Thank you, Katniss, for those remarks. Now, as the last speaker of the debate, I'd like to call upon Admiral General Aladeen to deliver his closing remarks.
Thank you, Katniss, for the keys, and don't forget about the BJP in India, which is a democracy. Now, talking about why is everyone disgusted by dictatorship, let me tell you, the secret to Arnab Goswami wrote this letter, okay, for us. He said, dictatorship is the best. Unlike Republic TV, and democracy sucks like the US of A. Stop hurting me, please. I want to let go. Oh, okay, I should have not read that part. And he has also given us 2 thumbs up for for dictatorship. I want to say one last thing. The basic thing is that dictatorship just want to make love to people. I mean, spread love to people and make sure people live together in unity, unlike democracy. And I have a little last quote in Hindi, thanks to my Mogambo counterpart. I want to say democracy से भर गया है मेरा मन. Democracy से भर गया है मेरा मन. I want to bomb Israel with my uranium. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. Thank you so much, Admiral General Aladeen. So guys, with this, we come to the end of the first debate that was contested on the topic, democracy is better than dictatorship. I'm sure you would have a fair idea in your mind regarding what stance you would choose. I'm obviously speaking to the audience when I say that. And yes, I believe it is now time that we move on to the second debate. So I hope the participants for second debate are ready. Guys, if you're here, kindly turn on your video so that I can see you. Okay, I can see 1, 2, 3 people. Okay, I believe all of you are here. So without any further delay, let me start. So ladies and gentlemen, the second round of debate is going to be contested on the topic, Indian accent is the best accent. Once again, the lineup of characters will make you rethink what your original opinion might have been on this topic. So without any further ado, we will now have the opening statements. Once again, with 90 seconds as the time limit, and at 75 seconds, you shall receive a warning. So the first speaker for the day for this debate is Khushi Kashyap, who would be speaking for the motion.
May I start? I'm audible?
Yes, Khushi, you're perfectly audible. You may start.
I have done a tremendous work in politics. I would try to get myself in English. हाँ, हंसिए मत. चलिए हिंदी में कह देते हैं. बोलने के लिए तो हम British English follow करते हैं. In India, we follow British English, but in practice, Indians use many words and phrases that don't exist in British English. A common Indian English accent varies because there is a lot of regional variation. Only a small minority, about 10 to 12% of the population, is speaking English. That is 125 people to 125 million people to, and their accent is mainly shaped by the state, city they belong from. अब हमका देख लो, हम बिहार से, बिहारी वाली इंडियन इंग्लिश बोले थे. अब स्टेशन को ही नॉर्थ वेस्ट में स्टेशन बोले थे. इन पंजाब जैसे स्टेशन, in Mumbai station, but UK says Indian English is as good as any. Talia bhai, talia. I think according to me, merging Hindi into English is the proper Indian accent, because I don't think to turn my mouth and feel like marshmallow and speak like British, American, Australian. We live in India, we are proud Indians, and we should speak our normal Indian tone first thing. I have told pros to pros people to speak in Indian accent. हमारे 11 बच्चन लोग भी इंग्लिश बोलते हैं, लेकिन इंडियन एक्सेंट में ही बोलते हैं. उन लोगों ने how are you, very fine, ऐसे ना बात करिए. They follow proper Indian accent. Thank you.
Thank you for that performance, Khushi. So guys, once again, any guesses for the character Khushi was playing? Let the guesses flow in the chat box.
इवेंट चल रहा था, ग्रुप में मैसेज लिखी पड़ी नहीं, क्योंकि दूसरों को सुनना भी होता है ना. तो मेरा पार्ट हो गया था. बस देखो ये चल रहती है ना तुमको.
Okay. Guys, I request all the members to be on mute for now. Yeah, so we have, I believe, a host of characters, a lot of different suggestions. So Rajas, why don't you play the video and let them know who this is?
कि देश की जनता को जो आपने फेंका, जो पिटारा फेंका.
Thank you, Rajas. So that was Lalu Prasad Yadav. Thank you for that performance, Khushi. So next up, we have Mitali Chattani, who would be speaking against the motion.
Okay, on the count of 3, 2, 1. Hello, everyone. This is a person who is the protector of Wakanda from generations. We must find a way to look after one another as if we were one single tribe. I am here being the Prince of Wakanda to tell you all how is our topic. That is the topic which we have all been given, that is Indian accent is the best accent. According to me, it's not the best accent. And that is why, because I will give you the reasons. According to a research which was conducted, and according to it, it was seen that the second most sexiest language is the Spanish accent. And according to me, the Wakandian accent is also similar to that. It shows all the culture and everything related to it. I am the king of the people, and I am not the king of Wakanda. So I would just like to say that Wakandian accent is the best accent over any other accent. Talking about the Indian accent is kind of funny. If I offer you, would you like to go for some party or something? You would definitely say no. But if I tell you, hey girl, would you like to come with me for a cup of vodka or so? Then you would say yes. I would just like to conclude by saying that it's almost your choice, whatever you choose. And you can see I'm not dead. I'm definitely not dead. And a big, big, big salute to the character which I'm playing right now. Thank you.
Thank you, Mitali. So, I mean, it is rather obvious what character Mitali was playing. So guys, still guesses? Okay. So yes, I believe it was fairly obvious that Mitali was playing the character, but anyway, Rajas, just go ahead and tell them what it was.
Your weapons. Our weapons will not be used to wage war on the world. It is not our way to be.
Thank you, Rajas. So that was the protector of Wakanda, King T'Challa. Thank you, Mitali. So the next performer that we have is Riya Choitani, who would be speaking for the motion.
Oh, 5th September. आदरणीय सभापति महोदय, माननीय शिक्षकगण और मेरे प्यारे सहपाठी, आज अगर हम आसमान की बुलंदियों को छू रहे हैं तो उसका श्रेय जाता है इंडियन एक्सेंट को, भारतीय एक्सेंट को। भारतीय एक्सेंट से जितने चंपकलाल हुए हैं सब एक से बढ़ के एक है, एक से बढ़ के एक। Indian accent is the world's most reliable, relatable, and connecting. I would not say because my mom is from Portugal or because I come from Bangalore, but because everyone who relates to it is so much delightful. Indians have no reason to feel left out. I have never tried changing my accent. I have never tried changing my accent for anyone. आज मैं आप सभी को बताना चाहता हूँ कि कल देश में जाकर हम देश विदेश में जाएंगे। वादा है आपसे कि जिस देश में जाएंगे वहां जाके चंपकलाल करेंगे। Today, I will also tell you that idiosyncrasies of a country with a zillion cultures and languages and heritage and the effect of those native languages and native accents, my hunch is the typical Lodi's accent. Paradise in a move of mix of bunches. I have been interning with international brands in the inferiority of couples is so weird and complex. Improving your accent is the goal of this communication and efficient controversies that we see coming up every day. And today, I'll also tell you कि जो चंपकलाल करने की क्षमता इंडियन एक्सेंट में है वो दुनिया के किसी एक्सेंट में नहीं मेरे मित्रों, किसी एक्सेंट में नहीं। इसी के साथ मैं आप सभी को बताना चाहता हूँ कि घंटे का पूर्ण उपयोग करना सिर्फ इंडियन एक्सेंट में है।
Your time is up, so I apologize. The performance will have to end there. Thank you. So guys, any guesses the character what Riya was playing? Any guesses to the character? I believe you all are too acquainted to the limit that I think one of you even dropped his nickname in there. So great. Rajas, just tell them right away what the character is.
अतिथि विशेष शिक्षण मंत्री श्री आर.डी. त्रिपाठी जी, माननीय शिक्षकगण और मेरे प्यारे सहपाठियों।
Thank you, Rajas. So that was Chatur Ramalingam from the classic movie Three Idiots. So the next performer that we have is Brianna Fernandez, who would be speaking against the motion.
Hello, sir. Let me know when I can start. Sir.
Yes, you may start now.
Amazing. So today something really terrible happened to me before I could come here. So there were three Indians, actually two of them, who met me. One of them said, my surname is pronounced as Ramsey. The other said, my surname is pronounced as Aramse. I mean, what kind of nonsense is this? Don't you all know the name of the person who makes the world's best chicken wings? Well, the Britishers colonized you for 200 years, and yet you can't speak English in a proper accent. I mean, look at me, I learned it in 5 years, and I'm a maestro. Oh, come on, oh, come on. I mean, just look at this, you're ridiculous. I went to a restaurant in India, and one of the waiters there told me, I'm going to serve you some child beer. Child beer? I mean, I know I am very stern and I am mean and merciless, but I won't drink child beer, please. Later on, I realized he was talking about chilled beer. What an annoying sandwich he was. Anyway, all of you, you make fun of us Britishers when we try to speak in other accents. Like when we say, if I say, me sabse sarvashresht chef ahe, or Ami shera chef, or even when Auntie Maggie says bhaya, all of you make fun of her. Well, that is phonetically wrong in your language. But when you say element in my kitchen, and when you say bowels for bowls in my kitchen, oh, that annoys me too. I mean, look at me. I can speak better with this chicken in my mouth than you can on a daily basis. Anyway, till I get
I'm
me some
afraid,
more,
Brianna,
this is
your
the
time is up
we're
now.
doing. Goodbye,
So,
goodbye, folks.
okay. Thank you so much, Brianna. So, guys, any guesses for the character Brianna was impersonating? So we have Brianna
I
who's
know I'm the
flexing
best.
her
It
knife.
is so
So,
easy to get
okay.
to know me.
I guess we have some suggestions. Okay. Okay, they're still coming in. Yes, Rajas, we might as well just tell them.
Out! And one more thing. Get out! What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
Idiot sandwich what?
An idiot sandwich.
Okay, thank you, Rajas. So that was Gordon Ramsay. So guys, a gentle reminder, as in when your opening statements are done, you're requested to rename to your character name. Okay, so that being said, let's proceed. So the next performer we have today is Ibrahim Jawal, who will be speaking for the motion.
Okay.
Time, you have the floor.
Yeah, so I'll start in 3, 2, 1. ओजी नमस्ते जी मैं पंजाब दा देसी मुंडा मैनू दूसरे देशों का एक्सेंट पसंद नहीं आता हमारा एक्सेंट सबसे बेहतर एक्सेंट है हाँ जी आप दूसरा देशों का एक्सेंट देखो जैसे यूएस यूके भाई वहाँ पे टंग तो आप ऐसी ट्विस्ट करते हो जैसे कि बेचारे शब्दों की आपदा ला रहे हो हम बोलते हैं इंडियन एक्सेंट में हम कितना डिसेंटली बोलते हैं कि हाँ ओके गुड ओके बट अब हम बोलते हैं ऑल राइट आप बोलते हैं ओ राइट बट ये क्या हुआ और हम अब बताता हूँ कि बहुत लोग ऐसे बोलते हैं कि दूसरे देशों के एक्सेंट जैसे लैटिन यूएस ब्रिटिश दा एक्सेंट सेक्सीएस्ट एक्सेंट है बट भारत का एक्सेंट अच्छा नहीं है पर इसमें सेक्सी होने की क्या बात है एक्सेंट ही होता है हमें बात तो करनी है हमें सीधे शब्दों से ही तो बात करनी है उसमें क्या मतलब है हम देखते हैं बहुत सारे ब्रिटिश एक्सेंट्स के वर्ड जैसे लूट ब्रिंजल कश्मीर जंगल पैजामा चेट थग सब इंडियन लैंग्वेज ही तो लिए गए हैं सी our Indian language is our Indian accent is cute and decent. Also, India has around 19,500 languages, and English is not even one of them. We have great languages like Sanskrit, which is said to be as mother tongue of most famous languages in the world. So we should be proud of our accent, and we should speak our accent very well. Thank you.
Thank you, Ibrahim. So guys, any guesses for the character that Ibrahim was playing? Okay, I can see the same name in the chat box. So I guess, Ibrahim, you did it really well. So Rajesh, why don't we do that?
मुझे टालने का बहाना था कि सचमुच आपको लगता है नहीं अचीव किया?
नहीं सच में नहीं अभी भी चलो अभी फिल्म आई है मैं कहीं तो आपके आके थोड़ा फायदा हो जाएगा इनके फिल्म को
So it was none other than Diljit Dosanjh. Ibrahim was playing the lead Dosanjh. So thank you, Ibrahim. The next performer that we have now is Amreen Randhawa, who would be speaking against the motion.
3, 2, 1. Who doesn't appreciate a nice, thick Latino American accent? Enrique Iglesias, Shakira, Ricky Martin, Mark Anthony, all of them are legends. And what contributes to their widespread fame and appeal? Their accent, of course. And that's why I feel the Latin American accent is the best in the world, no matter what. And then, of course, there is me with this accent that makes everyone listen intently to what I have to say. My style beats all the kids in his middle school talent show, coming first just because he wore a Colombian poncho and sang a folk song embellished with the accent he's inherited from the land of Latin America, where the richness in culture, food, music, literature, and sport is combined with the Spanish and Portuguese influence, making it extremely exotic. An Indian accent involves the use of indigenous vocabulary and the addition of unnecessary words such as "I am here." But the Latino accent is smooth, easy on the ears. It stands out in the crowd like my eccentric family at every family function that they embarrass themselves at. But hey, I love and appreciate them a lot. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Amreen. So, guys, any guesses for the character Amreen was playing? Okay. More guesses? Okay, so I have two names, but obviously it can only be one character. So Rajas, why don't you tell them which character this is?
And I know it wasn't about me, because he knows that I hate when men call me baby. And yes, people are allowed their private thoughts, and I shouldn't be so angry.
So this was Gloria Pritchard, played by Amreen. So thank you guys. With that, we come to the end of the round of closing statements. What follows is the rebuttal round. So you will have around 15 minutes where, as usual, it will be unmoderated, but I expect you to maintain decorum in the same. So at the count of 3, I believe you must have all renamed yourself up until now. Yeah, I guess you have. I can see all the renamed people here.
Yes,
okay.
sir.
So without any further ado, we will now start with the rebuttal round at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Of course, I know my accent is more superior. All of you Indians can just shut up. Or you can just keep quiet. You can
Dear Mr. Gordon, you don't watch your own shows. How can you say that your accent is the most superior?
Oh, of course. Oh, of course, Mr. Chatur. Have you heard your own performance? Yeah? The people there were laughing. You don't know your
Mr.
own
Gordon,
Mr. We were talking about
Mr. Gordon,
the Queen is
Mr.
proud
Gordon,
of me.
Mr. Gordon, my performance
Have you seen
which is remembered till ages and beyond. Until today, people remember. Unlike people who don't
come
watch
on.
their own
I
shows.
don't
No
remember
offense.
it. I mean, you know I'm a part of Hell's Kitchen.
Mr.
But
Gordon.
definitely you, I don't know
Mr.
who
Gordon.
you are.
No,
I don't
Mr.
care
Gordon.
about your performance.
Mr. Gordon,
Excuse me,
Mr. Gordon, people say
Please,
Janardhan
Indians.
Ramsey,
That's
Mr. Gordon,
Indians.
which
That's
says
Indians.
your accent, which says a lot about your accent, Mr. Gordon.
Oh, come on.
Excuse me, इंडिया में रहते हो तो इंडियन लैंग्वेज यूज करो, ऐसे इंडियन एक्सेंट यूज करो.
Mr. Lalu, Mr. Lalu,
The king is not yet dead.
Mr. Lalu,
The king is not
Mr.
dead.
जी
The king
Mr.
is not
Lalu,
dead.
जी Mr. Lalu, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल.
That is what we are saying.
जी दिलजीत जी.
You tried
Okay,
Mama
Sunoji.
12 times. In the end, you end up screaming, Ma.
That is the main point coming.
That's the thing about Britishers happening all the time. They don't even listen to people and they just go on speaking and speaking and speaking.
Yes.
No offense.
Oh, please, yes, of course. You come from a country where journalists aren't allowed to speak, and the ones who speak, yeah. I know, it's dumb. Yes, of
So the other day, I was having a
I'll tell you
conversation.
about Indian accent. Indian accent हम सीधा plain simple बोलते हैं. आप कोई भी देश के anyone who is an English speaker उसको हर एक वर्ड समझ में आएगा इंडियन एक्शन का, बट इफ यू सी ब्रिटिश एक्शन, द वर्ड्स यू आर ट्विस्टिंग, no one can understand that.
Okay, listen to the Wakanda film. Here we go. The main point from here is that when you go to Wakanda,
Wakanda is no more. Wakanda is no more.
जरा बात तो
Wakanda is no
सुनिए,
more.
जरा बात
अरे हमका भी तो बोलो।
India is on the rise. India will be on the rise.
अरे हमका भी तो बोलो।
why does
हम
Indian
जेल
people
में तो
change
इसका
their accent when they go to other countries? Why is it so?
Oh, please.
The Wakanda prince is asking you all.
I've done my research enough here. I saw an article where an Indian wrote in the India Today newspaper that Indians should learn how to speak the right accent.
The other day I was reading the Portugal magazine where the other day I was reading the Portugal magazine where a British said that he was pissed, and people didn't realize that he said that he was drunk, and that is why the whole confusion started. So you see, the accent which you're talking about isn't even an accent.
Look at this sandwich. She's just talking nonsense. Utter nonsense. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I mean, look at the right syllable.
That's what
stress.
happens when
And
you
if
don't
your
see
right
your
syllable
own show.
stress, what is your speaking
That's
test?
what happened when you just study from your books. That's what exactly happens when you just study a You just need to keep these things in mind. Why does Indian people change their accent when they go to different countries?
Mr. Black Panther, have you ever watched Hill's Kitchen?
Sir, I've seen your kitchen shows. Have you seen that guy with the turban who comes? Namak shamak, namak shamak. I mean, what is that nonsense? That is the level of your cooking shows.
At least Elle is better than
हमारा style better है
when you said
Oh, please.
Elle is better than Kaka Koopa.
I've seen the menu. There's veg girl sandwich. Child beers. I mean, what's that? Oh, come on. British does far better than
Elle is better than someone who always order the same things when they go to a restaurant.
We have
even
all
if it's frozen, and even if it's not rotten.
I've seen all of your meeting. Hilarious.
And also refuses to go on frozen one night in Lord. That's what happens.
मेरी बात सुनिए.
I just want to ask one question here. Why does this
you can't ask.
round of Lalu Prasad?
Akam Shakam Pachlam.
Why
Samakalam Makam Lalam. Alakaram Lakaram.
अच्छा मैं बताता हूँ आपके English accent. English, you say
no
you
one
are
understands
superior in every aspect of life. If you see Indian culture, our Indian culture, we have a Sanskrit language. Sanskrit, you can say it is
Indian culture.
Yeah, just listen to me. Yes, it is said one of the most ancient and heritage culture in the world. The most famous language is
Well,
Spanish,
India is not the only country with a rich culture.
Sanskrit is language which had all the language
This is what I read in
origin
my
from
magazine in
Sanskrit
the
language.
Reddit takeover.
Okay, so Indian accent,
When Mr. Gordon said that beef
in the
Wellington.
world.
Yes,
India
You
is
see,
full
your
of
whole
different
country,
languages. And in each
your British
city-
country, it runs through
So if
India,
you have
to
different
Indian
languages,
people.
that means you ruin the accent of all and speak
India is full of
terribly.
It's about the new culture and the basic diversity and the rich heritage that India has. Because
English is considered a language in India.
accent doesn't show your culture? There are very trying to
We can
use your
communicate.
accent.
Conversation तो होनी चाहिए. Conversation is the important part.
With my discretion, I would like to interject. Guys, please speak in turns. Not more than 2 speakers can be heard at once. So please take that into consideration.
Yes,
Okay, so
Dilujit ji.
Sure.
We have variations in India. India has a lot of like in every city there is
Yes, Lallu ji.
there is different accents spoken. So India है
Yes,
हमारा
Lallu
India
ji.
है जहाँ पे different accent variations.
हमारा नेता कैसा हो, लालू प्रसाद यादव जैसा हो.
Yes.
Lallu ji.
That is very fair. You can go and sleep back there. You can go and sleep back
Yes,
there.
he's at least
We don't
better
need
than
to
your
discuss.
your current prime minister.
It's not about Prime Minister, and
Oh,
also the other
really?
day when
Oh,
I was
really?
reading the Reddington interview, Mr.
I
Gordon
don't think we
said
should talk.
that he wouldn't go to a party when he is dressed and where he doesn't get sandwiches. In a Reddit takeover interview, Mr. Gordon, is that something you say, saying that in the British language? Does that make something sensible even when it has no sense? Lallu ji, आप कुछ कहना चाहेंगे?
Of course, sir. Okay, I don't think I
पहली
should
बात
call you
हमारा
sir,
नाम
because
लालू है,
you
लल्लू
don't
नहीं.
deserve it. But remember when you went to Mr. Funsuk Wangru?
That's where your accent come into play. Your
Also-
accent is like you are not able to
Your
understand your
Funsuk
saying.
Wangru? Funsuk Wangru?
And this
Funsuk Wangru is also an Indian who was running Funsu Wangdu is now a great friend of mine, and this is his pen that I have with me. His pen that he gave me.
Also, I would like to
Oh,
point
we
out,
saw
action
After
is
he gave me the
not
pen,
an
he became
important part of
friends.
life. The
And
main thing
today
is
he
conversation.
came with his
We
biscuits.
need to
Today he
we
came
need
with
to
his
have a
biscuits.
good conversation.
And
The
we
thing is that
signed
we
a
should
contract.
understand what the with whom we are speaking. We can understand.
Also, all of you, all of you.
अरे हम जेल में, तो इसका मतलब ये क्या हमें
have
बोलने
an
नहीं दिया
accent,
क्या?
the main aim of a language is to communicate, and then if you can do that well, so
Exactly,
I
it's
think
about
all of you know
communicating.
right. I mean,
Exactly, it's about communicating.
Also,
And more than
also, I would like to point out
important
one
thing
fact.
is exactly it's about communicating, and more than communicating, if you're making sense, like when I say something, people understand me and they remember. Like when I say that Hunsu
none
Wangdu
of
is a
you
friend
are.
of yours who's going to come, I am not talking about God and sir. You don't even understand yourself. I'm talking about
And
normal
that's
people
not
like Lallu
because of your
Ji
accent.
and
That's
Inshallah.
because of your character.
I am talking about normal people like Gloria ma'am, who's understanding and listening to me and making sense. And that is, I think, what happens when you speak in the right accent. Like when I gave the definition of machine in the class, I
Really?
said that machine is
Really?
anything which moves. And when Wangdu said
Hello?
that machine is a zip up and down, can you hear me? Can you hear me? I think you can't. You're already ready with a sword.
It's still in you and your life.
Are you with a
still is
sword? Are you with a sword?
Mr. Ramdi, check
kill
the
me.
chicken is burning. Mr. Ramdi, check the chicken is burning.
गॉर्डन की बोल्टी बंद हो गई अभी तो.
और गोल्डन जी चल गया.
चलेगा.
गोल्डन जी का ब्रिटेन में इंटरनेट खराब हो गया.
Oh, please, no, thank you. I've come to
हमारे
India
India
right now, and I'm
fast
living
है.
in Mumbai currently.
Oh.
Excuse me, I'm living in Mumbai currently.
How is your experience at Mumbai? Like, are you in
terrible, it is terrible.
Did you
Half
learn
of the
pav
restaurants
bhaji?
here, they don't have good
terrible,
Wi-Fi.
आप
You
local
can
train
see
में
I'm
चढ़ के
staying in
दिखाइए
this
कल.
restaurant.
My
I
mother
had to
is
get
also
food.
from Portugal and my
I had
dad
to
is
call my
from
own daughter to
Bengaluru.
cook food for me. I mean, that is how pathetic it was. I couldn't understand what the waiters were speaking. The people around, they were messy. They were
What
dirty.
cafe did you go?
I am at the Lal Cafe. The Lal Cafe. here.
There's this cafe near ICE which I'll tell you. So they serve bhajiyas, and those bhajiyas my mom taught me when she was in Portugal, and they're so tasty.
they're
I'm
going
going
to
to
be
tell you,
pathetic.
you will love. No, Gordon, no, Gordon. Try to
sorry,
take references and try to like things
A better
about.
suggestion, please.
No.
A better suggestion, please. That was a
Yes,
pathetic
Gordon.
one. That was a pathetic one.
Yes, Gordon.
That was a
एक
pathetic
बारी
one.
बिहार
I
के
mean,
लिट्टी चोखा
all
खा
of you
के
Indians
देखो.
are so quiet. Other than Chatur,
Conversation.
who is not technically Chatur, and if you have anything to speak, how dumb is your Indian clan? I mean, I'm the only Britisher here, and I can
We
still
are
beat
not
all of
You
you
have
single-handedly.
a god
that
सुनो जी, मैं
name,
बताता हूँ, मैं
but is
पंजाब
that
का
even
मुंडा हूँ.
relatable?
हमारे अब देखिए हर एक कंट्री में हमारे
Punjab
इंडियंस
the
भरे हुए हैं.
Punjab the Munda.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, Diluji.
They're in Canada, by the way, Britain, for your kind information. I can already see your intelligence.
Yeah, so
I can already see your
so they
intelligence.
speak Indian accent over there. They are spreading Indian accent. If you see most there are around 300
But
to
all of these
400
words,
million
okay,
Indian
so
diaspora around the world, and
we
they speak
understand that you
proudly
have to
speak
remain
Indian
in the
accent.
kitchen and you have to make sandwiches, but why do you carry a sword when you're staying in Mumbai? Like, why you're carrying a sword? Don't you know the current situation in Mumbai? Like, you carrying a sword, you'll kill people like that?
The cafe that I went to, they couldn't. Number one, your Indian cafe, they didn't have a proper knife to chop my chicken for me.
So you took
I
your,
had to get that
big
I literally had to get my
sword,
daughter
kill
all the
them?
way.
You are
That is how pathetic it is.
That's
Oh,
illegal.
excuse me, that guy with the car, stop screaming. Look at that nonsense rickshaw there. Please,
your
shut up.
country only
I'm
has
talking here. You understand English?
Sweet.
Hello?
Sweet.
Excuse me.
It's pathetic. It's pathetic.
Sweet. Did you ever have a conversation with Sir Virus? Virus, sir? He's so
I don't
great.
have time
You
for
should
Virus.
you should
I
meet.
don't have time for
You
Virus.
should
I'm already
meet.
back.
Virus is running the world right
21st
now.
century.
Call
I
him
don't have time
Virus,
for
you're in Mumbai with your sword. It's all about the virus, which has locked you in Mumbai. So I think you should meet Mr. Virus.
I'm
He'll
done
tell
with
you
Virus.
the insides,
Sir,
the
I can't
insides
do
of different
another one.
accents,
I don't
of
have
different
time.
accents.
I'm busy. I've got to go to 5 more
With our
five-star hotels
judges holding
and
this
show my
intellectual
expertise there.
conversation, I think you should have a talk with him. I think.
You only have
course, the
one
judges can
food
see
that is famous in your country. We Indians
One
in
intellectual
every
person
state
and
we
four
have different
Intellectual.
foods that are famous.
Intellectual.
Foods that are famous.
For
Who has major foods? Indian has major culture, major food, major regions.
One of my friends went to Canada and then he was talking and he had a meeting with a Japanese man
जी आपको बता दूं India is a vast country. We have India is 3.2 million square
Otherwise, someone will come with
area.
a plate of thepla. Somebody else will come with a plate of
Now to
jalebi,
talk about
and all of
country,
it is going to taste
it's not about the area, it's about the senses. Like when I talk to Mr. Gordon, I get no vibe of good senses. But when I talk to Mr. Dalujit and Mr. Lalu, the vibe is just so different. So different, and the way the things are interpreted, it's like Champaklal. A lot many Champaklals coming on the way.
Okay, Chatur, then just tell me one thing. Why does every Indian, whenever they go to other countries, they change
Mr.
their accent?
Mr. Chichalla.
Do you know
Yeah.
the meaning of champa?
Maximum of
PC God, and that's what British are doing over the years. They are just showing the sword.
So
You are
that's
Britain.
my point.
Britain is the size of a
That's my
district in
point.
Punjab.
What's the point of saying a word when the meaning is destroyed? What's the point of saying a word when the meaning is destroyed? So why not speak it in the natural form, just the way we Indians do, the glorious past that we have? My mom was born in Portugal and my dad was from Bangalore. We had a past which was glorious.
Things.
And now when I've seen all of these accents and when I landed to ICE Nagpur, I realized that the best accent, the most natural that you can be, and also after my teachers did debate, I realized that the most best and the most fruitful accent that one can ever have is the Indian accent. Please put your sword aside.
Okay.
I'm getting scary.
Okay,
now.
guys. With that,
Mr.
I
Chatur,
believe
I think you can see
the
the chat
time.
box. We're supposed to be quiet.
Common accent.
Guys, I'm afraid that
make
the time for the rebuttal round has lapsed. So with this, we come to the end of the rebuttal round. So I'm not sure if you noticed, but while you were discussing having this really fiery discussion, the chat box was also all fired up with people writing all sorts of comments, cheering their friends, I believe, and having fun in general. So I guess this was a very healthy round of rebuttal. So with this round of rebuttal having concluded, let us now move into closing statements. Once again, 60 seconds each to every speaker. And at 45 seconds, you shall receive a warning message. And later on, at 60 seconds, another message shall be put that will mark that your time is now up. So without any further ado, I would now like to invite the first closing statement from Lalu Prasad Yadav.
I hope that you guys would have liked my character. हम बहुत ही आभारी हैं कि हम ऐसे डिबेट दे हो. अब पता नहीं भगवान की कृपा बाटे कि अब तुम लोगन का नतीजा पे आवत है. एंड हम तो बहुत खुश हैं. हमारी इंडियन एक्सेंट द बेस्ट एक्सेंट इन द वर्ल्ड, द बेस्ट एक्सेंट इन द वर्ल्ड. हम जेल से धन्यवाद बोलत है सब लोगन के. थैंक यू.
Thank you so much, Lalu Prasad. So the next person I'd like to invite for closing statement is the Black Panther, that's King T'Challa.
Yeah, so as you all can see, I'm not dead yet. And here I go with my points. Why does every Indian, whenever they go to other countries, they change their accent? If you like your accent, then stick to the same accent. Why does they change their accent and talk to British people in the British accent? This is not acceptable. We cannot do this in our country. In Wakanda, we speak for our accent. We take our stage, and that is what we are famous for. Wakanda, Wakanda forever. Thank you.
Thank you, Black Panther. So the next closing statement would be from Chatur Ramalingam. You have the floor, Chatur.
थैंक यू. तो मैं कहना चाहूँगा आप सभी ने अपना वक्त हमको दिया, उसके लिए बहुत ही शुक्रिया. मैं आप सभी को कुछ बताना चाहूँगा. उत्तम दद्दात कादम, उच्चुक पादम, उद्दुक पादम, तुच्चुक. मैं कहना चाहूँगा कि भारतीय और जहाँ जाएंगे झंडे गाड़ेंगे और हम अपनी बातें सभी को बताएंगे. उसी के साथ my mom, as I said before, and as I will say, has been in different countries and have been in a place which is multicultural, which has all the heritage, and I have worked with scientists like Funso Kwanglo. I have heard about accents and I have meetings with Japanese people. And I know that the accent with which we speak is the best accent. और इसी के साथ मेरा चंपक लाल खत्म होता है. आप सभी भारतीय हैं. जय हिंद.
Thank you, Chatur. So the next character that I'd like to invite for a closing remark is Gordon Ramsay. So Gordon, you have the floor.
Okay, in the first place. Okay, in the first place, I think this is the first time that Lalu Prasad has ever gotten to speak. So I won't really say much about him. Coming to Chatur, this is the first time an audience has appreciated him. So again, I want to tell him that I don't think yours was worthy enough either. With T. Shala, I think he already said that Indians are already offended and they don't like to speak their accent when they go to other countries. So that shows that Indians don't really like their accent. And I would say that my British accent is superior because everyone understands what we're saying and we don't mispronounce words. But before I go, thank you so much to everyone for listening to the world's best chef. Tele has bought something for you. Tele, we have a song for them. Let's sing it for them, shall we? 1, 2, 3. Chicken wings, chicken wings.
Chicken wings, chicken wings.
Hot dog and bologna.
Hot dog and bologna.
Chicken and macaroni.
Chicken and macaroni.
British accent walk. Here we have some chicken wings for you. And thank you, judges, for supporting me. And
Thank you, Gordon. I believe your time is up. Thank you. So next, I'd like to call upon Diljit Dosanjh to deliver his closing remarks.
So my fellow competitors are pointing out that Indians when they go abroad, they change their accent, but we quote them as NRIs. We are Indians. We are the real Indians. We speak our Indian language, our Indian accent. India is a land of diverse country with thousands and thousands of languages. Accent differ to a great extent, and the determining force for the same is nature and ability it provided us to speak. India has the second largest English-speaking population, with US at the top at 300 million, followed by India at 260 million. With the growing number of English speakers in India and with our growing influence in the world, I think that passengers in the London Underground wearing cashmere sweaters asking other passengers to kindly adjust. New Yorkers will ask their meeting to free pond, and tanned Torontoians describe their complexion as wheatish. Thank you.
Thank you,
Diljit sir, your songs are tripping me.
So there, after Diljit's remark, we had a word from Chatur, but now I believe without any further ado, we will last move on to Gloria Pitchett, who will now deliver her closing remarks. Gloria, you have the floor.
Well, in the rebuttal, I couldn't get too many words in because people were preaching in their loud Indian accent. However, I feel that the Indian accent is a little flat, but our accent is vibrant and dynamic. I want to scare someone, I sound intimidating. I want to get work done, I screech at my husband. I want to win at karaoke, I belt out the soprano by rolling off my R's. Even more, and the same just works for anyone with a Latino accent, because this accent, as I said, is music to the ears. I personally feel Indians are lovely people. I love synchronized Bollywood dances and my chai tea. But when you think of Indian accent, what comes to mind is Appu from The Simpsons. And when you look at Latino accent, you think of Pablo Escobar running his... Oh, okay, not the best example. But I hope you see my point of view. Thank you very much.
Thank you for those closing remarks, Gloria. So with this, guys, we come to the end of the second debate as well. So now with the second debate and the first debate having concluded, it is now time for the judges to retire to a separate breakout room and discuss the results, post which they shall be revealed. So technical team, Tushar and Shuchi, please facilitate that. The judges, along with Danish, Kanchan and Armana, need to be put in a separate breakout room. So Armana, Danish, and Yash sir, I believe you guys would have received a link to join the breakout room, so please do that. Technical team, event head Kanchan also needs to be put in the breakout room. Okay, guys, so I believe the judges must now be discussing what the fate of the participants is going to be. So meanwhile, since we have some time, how about you guys tell me some feedback regarding how you felt that the event was or how everything has been so far? Just a little feedback from you would be great. We can start with the participants of debate one, if that's fine.
I have some. I mean, I think it's a bit chaotic. It's fun. It's really fun to watch, but it's like a little too chaotic per se.
Ayan, before we can go ahead with that, we have our principal in charge, Dr. Pooja Ramchandani ma'am, who's joined. So requesting all the participants to switch on their cameras and we can have ma'am see what kind of get up and the kind of character they got themselves into. So requesting all the participants to switch on their cameras and acknowledging the presence of principal in charge, Dr. Pooja Ramchandani.
Good afternoon, ma'am. We're so glad to have you here. So as we speak, the debate has just gotten over and the judges, as we speak, have now retired to a breakout room where they're discussing what the fate of all of these, the fate of these anxious spaces will be, because the debate is just over. All of them are excited. All of them are looking forward to the result that, okay, will we get the third position? Will we get the first position? So I believe this is really a time when you can address them and sort of motivate them and help them expect the best. So ma'am, the stage is all yours.
Thank you, dear. Despite Vanshika telling, I think everybody is feeling shy to come in front of the principal and show their faces, but all the best. And I've been told that today you are working on the imitation game, where you have become somebody and you're going to display imitation is explore your personality and maybe you have a talent in the same manner. I think hearty congratulations to my entire team of PSDS. I think my brand ambassadors of PSDS have become super talented and they can bring out now the best unique things that they have planned. I cannot imagine the kind of events that they have been having since last 2.5 and 3 months. I think the blessing that they have used Corona and COVID and the lockdown is sit at home and get the best out of people. I think I should not pray the Corona should continue, but I must pray that PSDS should continue with similar kind of events, better and better events. I wish all the participants all the best. I can see one or two, especially I can see Diljit Doshanji, and I can see 2 or 3 Admiral General. I saw he's making his hair. Then I can see Manju, Shri, Rao. I mean, you all have become great people here. Come on. I hope nobody is HR college principal here imitating me. So I'll be happy if somebody is imitating me and I want to look at the video. And all the best. May the best win. But in my opinion, coming you already are winners. You have taken up that stage, come up and speak to people, show up your talent, and good request PSDS, think of such unique concepts more and more and more, and make some faculty do some imitation game. I'll be more than happy. So all the best and wishing you best, and may the best win. All the best to you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for those amazing words.
Yes.
Yeah, so I believe, ma'am.
One thing I wanted to add.
Let me know if there is somebody Pooja Ramchandani as an imitation person.
Ma'am, we won't be able to do justice
Yes,
we
I
would
was
love
just
to
going
do
to say
that.
that.
We would love to do that. And like we mentioned in the first PSDS event and now the grand finale, ma'am has been so supportive. She is traveling right now. And even in our first debate, the freshers debate that marked the beginning of our PSDS term, ma'am made it a point to join and support us. She's heading for a board meeting as we just spoke. But for the students, ma'am is always there to support. I think I speak for everyone present here, all my core committee members also.
And
So
I
thank you,
hope
ma'am,
you guys
really.
remember how towards the start I mentioned that this is the first time that Off the Cuff has went national and we are able to do it on a national platform. So it is not only about the idea. Do you know who was the actual source of the idea? I mean, it's pretty obvious. It was Pooja ma'am's motivation that was the source of the idea, because she was the one who always used to tell her that, okay, transcend boundaries. You do not need to be restricted by anything. The world is your stage, and feel free to do as you wish to. Take the club to new heights, take the college to new heights, have whatever events you wish to have. So, ma'am, great thank you to all the support that you've given PSDS, the society, and the event so far. We could not have done
Thank
it
you, dear.
without you.
It's all your efforts. I'm getting credit for nothing. Thank you to all of you. I think you all need to be, I would say, why are you all in SYs and TYs? You should always be in first years, that you keep working for HR college. Never grow up. Keep stay younger and younger. And hats off to all of you. Hats off. I'm very proud of all of you.
Definitely, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Working for
can I just
HR is
say,
always a pleasure. Thank you. Yes,
ma'am,
Yash.
can I just say, I think we're really glad that we grow up and we go to SY and TY because we get to bring up a new generation of leaders. Because as you can see, so many of our participants, so many of the people from PSDS, FYs, we would have never realized they were capable of such wonders unless we had given them the opportunity and we retire from that field.
I believe Yash is perfectly right in saying that, because it is not only about working to the best of your capabilities for the club, but also educating the younger generation to do the same. So, ma'am, it is all of these values that you have given us that now we are trying to pass it on to our generation and keep the club going, keep the college going, and everything in between.
Yeah, what Yash said is right, but I become little greedy. People like Vanshika who are in SYs will go in TYs. I don't want to lose them because you all are such good, you know, who will fly away from HR family. And I don't want these birds to go away. I want these birds to keep working in HR college always, always, always. So that's why a little greedy that I don't want to lose you all. That's why. But keep growing,
Ma'am,
keep growing.
Ma'am, with the love you show us, we would not fly away at all. If we passed out with a degree or not, that doesn't change how committed we are. We would love to do anything even after third year. And I think that's the kind of emotion even the first year share already. You can see all of them. Most of the participants here so enthusiastic as first year. Thank you,
Yeah,
ma'am.
wishing you all the best and take this program to the new heights. All the best here. Continue.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
So, guys, that was Pooja Ramchandani, ma'am, IC Principal of HR College. And as I believe you already know so far, she has been the one who has helped us go forward with all of these things. Because for anything, an idea is not enough. You need permissions. You need things to be sorted. And to get those permissions, Pooja ma'am has been extremely supportive. So we couldn't thank her enough. So now, I believe since we still have some time until the results are declared, I think this is time for individual feedback. So the participants are free to unmute and say how their experience was participating here. This is out of character, by the way. So you can just be yourself.
Yeah, God bless for that. God bless for that.
I can't see these people the normal way again. Like, I can't see Ajit the normal way.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing. Like, this is how normally
True.
And to everyone else, first of all, apologies if I said something very, very wrong. That's not my views and that's not what I represent. Secondly, to all the participants, they were amazing because, to sometimes debate against a topic of against a topic which you don't believe in is very difficult, and all of them did it with the characters. So that's the best thing. So I feel all the participants did an amazing job, and not only our round but even the next round, all were entertaining and couldn't get a better ending for Off the Cuff. So yeah.
I agree with Ajit. I think it was beautiful. I'm really sorry for
to anyone, to anybody whom I said anything to. But that was Gordon Ramsay for you. I mean, I've never seen him very polite, so I couldn't be polite either. I'm really sorry. I think all of you really, really, really did very well. It was, I mean, at one point, even I found it very difficult how to counter you guys. So I think that says enough that all of you did well in the round that I was in and the round before me. I think it was beautiful. And the next time for all of the ones whom I know, I'm going to address you guys as the character that you were today, because that's how well you're at. So thank you.
There's this strange fact with me that every time I attend a PSDS HR event, like our PSDS event, all the
Rhea, we cannot hear you, so just use a microphone. Yeah.
Can you
do
hear
that.
me now?
Yeah, it's better.
Yeah. So every time I attend the PSDS event of our college, like of HR exclusively, the amount of complex that I take back. Okay, every time that I attend a normal event, there must have been motivation. This time the motivation is just in the form of there's so much more to do because there are so many talented people, like the OC, then the participants. So the amount of complex has been huge. It was great.
Quick shout out to the chat box. Everyone who's been audience, they have been super supportive, and also they were having a debate of themselves, like they were being in the character and supporting their people. So love to see that. So yeah,
And a special mention to the girl who gave Brie the chicken wings. Like, thank you to her.
Very true, very true. Big thank you to all of them, the ones who supported me in the audience, and my best friend who made the chicken wings for me.
This is the first time my best friend came to attend anything that I do. Like, she has never come. We have been in 12 years for school, the same school, and then events. This was the first time she joined a meeting for me. I think if she's here. Loved it.
So okay, that's enough of PSDS members and everything telling us about the response, but we guys already are kind of acquainted with you. So how about someone who is not so familiar with us tells us how the event was? Because I believe that will be more frank. So I guess, Katniss, can you do that?
I kind of knew you were going to ask me. No, so I think the event was really good, but I think if there's one thing I would have wanted some, better, I think it would be the speaking time, because I feel like you couldn't get enough content in 1.5 minutes. So I feel like that could be improved. But I think the character impersonation of some of these people were really good, and I wasn't up to it. But I think this is just an experience for me, so I really enjoyed it. Thanks for the opportunity. Thanks.
No, I believe you were really good with the whole Katniss impression, the aggression that you showed in the character. I believe the real Katniss does that too.
I couldn't be as in character as her, because she's wearing a bodysuit and stuff, and I can't do all that. But yeah, so as much as I could be as aggressive as her, I could. So yeah.
It showed that you were well read. So a lot of your content, you had a lot of references also. So good job there.
It's one of my favorite books. So yeah, thanks.
Oh, okay, that's great.
Any feedback all of you would have for us, that would be great too. Especially since some of us, it was a first time doing a character debate. So,
so good evening. I enjoyed a lot. I have taken first time participation in this event. A year I have attended the events of the HR college, but I was in the audience. I never participated actually. I only participated for essay and poetry competitions, which were never face to face. And I am actually a very introvert and shy kind of a person, but I enjoyed a lot. This was just an amazing experience. I loved it. Thank you so much, guys.
Best part of this event was we had audience. Normally when we participate, it's like the OC and the participants, but the audience is the main thing. They kept the intensity to the greatest extent. Yeah, that's the greatest part of the event.
Yes, I believe,
Very
Ibrahim,
cool.
you're right. So, the audience interaction is a very important element to make any event success. We need to have people cheering. We need to have people typing stuff. So I believe that was done properly. So good job, audience, as well. So before we move any further, guys, let me acknowledge the presence of our very own teacher in charge, Mrs. Geeta Sahu, ma'am, who has been supporting us in ways that I can't even put in words. So you know how I told you that Pooja ma'am helped us dream big and helped us, transcend borders? she was the one who helped us achieve those borders. It was Geeta ma'am who helped us achieve the limits that we had set for ourselves to exceed our standards and to do what we had planned that we wish to do. So ma'am, currently as we speak, the results are being tabulated and the judges are in a separate breakout room. But I believe it is best that in such times of anticipation, you address the students because you will be able to sort of get them in the right place before the result is announced. So ma'am, the stage is all yours.
Yeah, so this is just so amazing, and well, I want to reserve a few comments for the time when the judges would also be with us, when the principal would also be with us, since it is our last event. But yeah, my wonderful students whom I can see here, and it's just amazing. This is our fourth event done in a very, very innovative way, and I don't know what to say. I mean, I'm just very happy with the way the whole uh, around the year all the events have been conducted by the team. So I'm just very happy, and this is going to kind of, you know, set a very high standard for the next team which is going to take over, and you have to take PSDS further. I have been the teacher in charge now for the past, I think, 8-9 years, and you should now take the club forward because this team has worked very hard and has set very high standards. So yeah, I'm very happy to see everyone over here.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for those words. So I believe we'll have to wait another 2 to 3 minutes before the judges are out of the breakout room because, I mean, let me just tell you, seeing the quality of debate that we just had, I can understand the difficulty that the judges must be facing in deciding the results because, there's always the thing that, okay, maybe this guy was better at this person was better at that element of things. So it's just difficult to decide. And I'm sure they must be having that because of the level of participation, the participants and the quality that they brought to the table was fantastic.
And especially since a few people mentioned it was their first time debating and they took part in a debate which was so out of the ordinary, where they had to step out of their comfort zone, not only, when it comes to public speaking, but also dress up. I think a lot of people here, they've gotten out of their costumes now, but they did such an immaculate job when it came to portraying the character they were in, even with the hairdo and even with their beard for Dictator Aladeen and the whole Arabic thing was brilliant to see. I think watching an ordinary debate is fun because you learn the nuances of public speaking, but watching this was also so entertaining because you know the backstory of the character and you know what shoes they're filling. So hats off to all the participants there.
I just like to add one thing. I think everyone here has done such an amazing job, but I'd like to start a petition to have General Aladeen, Gordon Ramsay, and Chatur perform at our next general body meeting also of PSDS. Because I think these FYs, like we've been saying throughout the year, we don't know what breed you all have come from, but you guys have really worked so hard. And seeing the characters here, I think we need to see you guys perform again at the next GBM to ensure, to make sure that you guys deserve the prizes or not.
All of them. Petitions for all of y'all to come to our last GBM where we're transitioning. We'd love to have them.
I believe the views of PSDS and General Aladeen would be quite different, and it would be very, very dictatorial. So hopefully not we do perform, but if the opportunity comes, surely all three of us will not pass it. So
we would clearly do it if the presidents and vice presidents also guide us before we perform on the characters that we wish, and the characters we'll make a list.
Ayan actually acted as my secret agent from Vadia, so
exactly. He deserves an extra point. But we need Ayan too. I mean, all of them. We'd love to have all of them. We can actually have an informal event.
Yeah, so next thing on the list, first thing that you guys do after taking up office, internal debate. I am cool with it. I'd love to do it.
Hi guys, we are back.
Okay, so the much awaited moment is here. The judges, along with the event heads and sub-event heads, are back. So, Yash sir and Rosalind ma'am, are you here?
Yeah, we are here.
Okay, guys, great. So I believe let us first begin with the remarks that the two judges have to give, the feedback that they have to provide, post which our very own faculty in charge, Geeta ma'am, is here who will address everyone, and then we can have the results. Or if the judges feel comfortable, they can announce the results now as well. We are fine with either thing. It is up to the judges.
Yeah, let the results be announced first.
Okay.
All right, sure. We'll be happy to.
Yash, so what are we doing? Are we giving you our remarks first, or are we announcing the winner?
Yes, ma'am. Remarks and general comments followed by the results.
Okay. Should I go first?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, so first of all, thank you for having me. I really enjoyed the debate. I thought it was a really, like I said, fantastic idea to throw in the whole characterization thing. I had to look up a couple of characters and I, had to research them, and I was like, oh, some of the pop culture ones. But it was very nice. I think that sometimes, what was confusing in a debate like this for us to judge on is that some people's strength was characterization. So they they embodied the character that was given to them really well. And some people's points of view and their arguments and their various thought processes regarding the topic that they were given were very strong. That's where I personally felt like I needed to keep in mind that this is not purely a performance on stage where it's only about the comedy or it's only about the acting prowess of the person performing. I have to keep in mind that it is indeed a debate. And for me, the biggest thing when it comes to debating is to be able to present various thought processes and how clearly you're able to latch onto your thought process, present it while there's chaos and an argument happening, to be able to stay centered within what you want to say, be able to respond to what the other person just asked you and not just go off the cuff. So this is quite a challenge. It's, a tall ask. It's much easier said than done, because sometimes when you get caught up in the frenzy of being heard, which for me, the rebuttal round, a lot of the time, it was chaotic. It was crazy. It was just people screaming over each other. In the first round, there was a monopolization of two characters that went for it with each other, and they realized they had to be seen and heard. But I feel like there may be scope to maybe put in a couple of rules there, wherein maybe there's a moderator of sorts that feels that if one person's just talking, because it is unfair to maybe, let's say, one of the participants, that they actually have a really good point of view to put across, and they're not getting the chance to do it because one person's just going, but blah, blah, blah. No, I don't agree. No, it's just fine. I'm just constantly talking, so the camera's always on me. But I may not necessarily be making sense. So I'm not saying that that is what happened. I'm just saying that if it was me and I wanted to be very dignified about my debate and not make it an Arnab Goswami kind of situation, I would like to kind of present myself within my scheme of things. Maybe the character handed to me was not a screamy, yelly, obnoxious kind of character. So if it was not a screamy, yelly, obnoxious character, how do I then get my point across if no one's giving me a chance? So for me, from an organizational point of view, the rebuttal round needed a little bit of step in, maybe a little bit of chance for others to get a word in, maybe a structure in that I can ask, let's say, one character question, he can rebut it or he can, refute it. And then he gets to ask somebody else a question. She can argue that, refute it, move on to somebody else, so that each of the characters kind of gets heard in the rebuttal round. For me, that is what was missing. I think that the characters handled it very well. It was very, very exciting. I thought lots of different points of view. One of the biggest points of view in the pro and anti-democratic argument was when you are a dictator, sometimes you don't have to be a bad dictator. You can be a really good dictator with good intentions. Your people love you. Okay, good examples of countries that have gone down that road and have done well. And say, sometimes when there's too many opinions in the room, like there is now, nobody gets heard. Democracy is an idealistic concept. You all want to be heard and you want to present your ideas forward, but then nobody wins in the end because everybody's constantly, doing things against each other, and it's an ideal, but it never ever gets practiced in ground reality. Nobody ever put that point across. So there are many points that were missing. Round 2, the rebuttal round for me was absolute chaos. So I just felt like, okay, I have to just stick to giving them points on their opening and their closings. But otherwise, entertaining, fun, little bit more work on accents, I think, like especially if you've been given a character, work harder on the accent. If they're international accents, it's not so easy, but if it's an Indian accent, nail it, please. Those are my points. I'm a bit of I like to give my little two to it. So thank you for indulging me and humoring me and having me. I really had a good afternoon. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Rosalind ma'am. Yes, sir, I guess you have the floor.
Absolutely, absolutely. So first of all, can you hear me right now? Am I audible?
Yes, you're perfectly audible.
All right, wonderful. So thank you so much for having me, first of all, in this brilliant event, I have to say. Just like I said in the beginning of this event as well, that I have been a part of a lot of debate competitions. I have participated in many, I have organized many, but never have I ever seen a debate competition of this sort, where it wasn't just about the content, where it wasn't just about debating, but it was about the embodiment. It was about the impersonation of, let's say, a fictional character or even a realistic person that many of you did. And of course, I do agree with a lot many points that my other judge has mentioned over here, especially the fact that because it was more than a debate, it was more than an extempore, it was much more difficult as well. You were here not just supposed to, present your argument on the topic that we had. And of course, the topics are brilliant, but it wasn't just about that. It was the combination of presenting those arguments from the ideology, from the psychology of the character that you are representing. And it is a huge deal, I have to say. So for me, all of you did a brilliant job in that respect. Of course, many of you kind of aced much better than the others, but that is how every competition works, right? We have to be quite practical about it. I think one point, as Rosalind also mentioned, was about the rebuttal round, which could have been worked upon. And I'm talking about the participants over here, because you were given the guidelines already. You could have spoken in a way that every person was at least being heard. Every person was at least getting a chance to speak. But especially in the second one, it was just chaotic. It was just, I would say, trying to be authoritative as much as you can on the other speaker, just trying to force your content, just trying to force your views on the other speaker for the sake of it. In the second round, I'm being bluntly honest about it, especially in the rebuttal part. It simply felt like you are forcing your characterization for the sake of it, rather than presenting any actual factual content. So because of that, judging the entire second round was a little bit difficult as compared to the first one. But of course, we came to some unanimous decisions regarding the winners over here. And I absolutely agree with the decision that we have come to. And once again, I would like to congratulate all the participants, because I know that you were shortlisted out of many others. So you all already are winners. You all already are the best of best. And with that, I would like to thank you all once again for entertaining us, for giving us such a wonderful afternoon, I must say. And thank you for having me. It was truly an honor. Thank you.
Thank you so much, judges. So I believe without any further ado, you can see the anxious faces. I think it's about time that you declare the result.
All right, sure.
Yash?
So, yeah.
Third place?
Just 1 second. Just 1 second. Yeah. Okay, so we are going to begin with the third one, and that is on the count of 3, okay? We are going to do it together. We decided together, so we are going to...
Character name, right?
Yeah, we are just going to say the character name, not the participant.
Okay.
Okay. So on the third position, we have Gordon Ramsay.
Gordon Ramsay.
So who is Gordon Ramsay exactly? We'll have to find out. And this is
Brianna Fernandez.
Yeah, Brianna Fernandez. Congratulations, Brianna. You presented a wonderful argument over here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's a delight. Thank you.
All right. Now we come to the second position.
Second position.
And on the second position, we have
Admiral General Aladeen.
and that is Adhit Shetty. So congratulations, Adhit. Once again, a brilliant performance, and you were really very entertaining, I have to say.
Yes.
Thank you
Comedy
so much.
and the characterization was very strong.
And by the way, without the mask, I genuinely did not identify that this is the General Admiral that we had in the event. So that was brilliant. That was really
That was
brilliant.
the idea. So, and want to appreciate both of you because you were smiling, laughing throughout. So that was very motivating for all the speakers. So thanks a lot.
Thanks for the appreciation. And now we move on to the first position, which I think is the most awaited part of this event. So any guesses so far? Who might be on the first position? You can just share your suggestions, share your guesses in the comment box before we announce it finally. All right. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. So on the first position, we actually have the girl on fire, and that is Katniss Everdeen. And that
Thank you so
is
much.
Marushka Ken, if I'm pronouncing your name correctly.
Yeah, Marushka.
Apologies if I'm butchering it.
No, it's fine. Thank you.
Really entertaining.
Okay, Manushka. All right. Congratulations, Manushka. It was truly a delight listening to your argument as well as your performance.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Congratulations
to everyone else as well.
Yeah, congratulations to all the participants.
Congratulations.
There were really moments from the others as well, that we enjoyed. So thank you for, making this a very, very entertaining afternoon. And keep sharpening your debate
Yeah,
skills.
all the very best to all the participants. Keep up the good work.
Thank you so much.
And congratulations to the team as well, by the way. Before we proceed further, I have to say that you guys managed it and organized it very well. So congratulations to all the organizers over here.
Thank you so much, Yash, sir. So we have amongst us our faculty in charge, Geeta Sahu ma'am as well, whom now I'd like to call upon to address the winners and the judges as well.
I would like to formally thank both the judges, Rosen and Yash. Thank you so much for being with us, for judging the participants. And I can make out that I have missed a brilliant event, but this is a very crazy year for HR College and for all of us. And there are just so many things happening simultaneously that thank you so much for judging this event, and hearty congratulations to all the winners, not just the winners, but all the participants who have participated. Thank you. Thanks a lot. And I cannot thank enough my core committee, my entire team of PSDS, my wonderful presidents, vice presidents. Thank you, Ayan, for being in touch with me and updating me. And of course, Manu and Vanchika have been wonderful presidents. The entire team, and it has just been a brilliant team effort. And as I was addressing my team when you all were finalizing the final announcements, I was just telling the team that this core committee has set such high benchmarks that now it is up to the next team to take it forward from here. Itself is going to be a big challenge, which I'm sure our students are very good at, and I'm sure they'll manage. And one thing that when both the judges were giving their comments came to my mind, it took me back to my MA days, because I am a English literature person, and our teachers would always make us understand the difference between character and characterization. Because if you are asked to write a characterization and you end up writing about the character in your paper, we would lose marks. So it just took me down memory lane to those old days where one needs to realize the difference between character and characterization. And I think this has been a wonderful event. And I don't know, I just want to keep talking about this because this is also our last event, and this team has just been so brilliant, and the kind of work that has been divided and the different event heads. I want to thank everyone, absolutely everyone, and it is now up to the FYs to take it forward from here. And this is the 7th consecutive year that we are hosting Off the Cuff as an intercollegiate event. Before this, for 1 year, when I was the teacher in charge of PSDS, the very first year, we had done it on a small scale within the college, and after that, we have been doing it as an intercollegiate event. But this event has never been introduced in Off the Cuff. So every batch has its own ideas, and I'm very happy with the kind of ideas that this team has come up with and the way they have gone about handling everything. Thank you so much. You're my strong pillars of support, and it's a very pride moment. It's kudos to the team, and when a report of this sort comes in the magazine, it's a very proud feeling for a teacher. And of course, like, your achievements are like our achievements, and actually the teacher does very little, because I have just very wonderful students and who have brought PSDS to this level this year. I'm very happy, I'm very thankful. So yeah, thank you. I can just go on, but I think the others also need to talk. Is Pooja ma'am joining us, or what is it? Is she able to?
Ma'am, actually, Pooja ma'am was in a hurry. She had an urgent board meeting to attend. So she came and she addressed the audience for like 2 minutes, and then she had to leave urgently.
Okay. So yes, in absentia, I would like to thank our principal, Dr. Pooja Ramchandani. She has been very encouraging, very supportive towards our students. Even on our degree college group, she does appreciate our team, and that's very encouraging. And yes, there has been a sad news today that one of our faculty members has lost his mother this morning due to COVID. So maybe Pooja ma'am has been busy with many things since morning, so I wasn't even sure whether she would be able to join. That is also the reason why I had asked Ayan, when is Pooja ma'am joining. So anyways, thank you judges, and thank you everyone for this brilliant event.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for those kind words. Thank you so much for your time. But I think I completely concur with you when you say that we don't feel like talking about the whole ending aspect of things, because it is not only the imitation game that we'll be closing today, it will also be off the cuff that will have to come to an end today. And with that, our term at PSDS. But before we go there are a lot of duties that I have, and I will now lay rest to them. So first of all, let me just begin by telling you about the experience that I had with the imitation game. So the imitation game was always planned as the grand finale of PSDS off the cuff national level literary extravaganza. So it had to be better than the rest, which is why we came up with this whole character debate idea. And when we incepted the idea, we were sure that it would work. We were sure that it would be good, but we were not sure it would be as great as it was today. So I am extremely grateful to all the participants and every last member, participant, audience who has had any bit of contribution towards making this a great success as it was today. So thank you everyone for that. And in my experience, I'd say that it is probably one of the best events that I have had the privilege to be at the apex of, because Yash and I, we were basically the co-mentors of the Imitation Game team. We had an amazing set of people working under us, and we had the distinct privilege of guiding them in the right direction. So yeah, it's been an amazing journey. And without any further ado, let me just start with my vote of thanks, because there's a long list of people who I have to thank, because all of you guys have done an amazing job. So firstly, I'd like to thank our judges, Yash Tiwari and Rosalind Tiera, who have so graciously agreed to spare time out of their busy schedules and attend this event. I understand that it's been 2.5 hours, and regardless of that, these two judges have been extremely patient with us, have been cooperative, and have also delivered such an amazing judgment. You know, personally, I was thinking that, okay, I had this rough estimate that, okay, these are the 3-4 characters that I want to win. And I kid you not, guys, those were the ones who were actually given those accolades. So I can't even tell you how happy I am about the judges that we had and the level of judgment that they had. So thank you, guys. Next up, I'd like to thank our IC principal, Dr. Pooja Ramchandani, who even in absentia is with all of us, because as I have said again and again, and as Vanchika has rightly mentioned, as Geeta ma'am has mentioned, Pooja ma'am is the one who motivates us. Is it us who does who do the work? Yeah, it is us who do the work, but it is Pooja ma'am who motivates us. And I feel that position that Pooja ma'am holds is extremely integral, and I cannot thank her enough for the things that she has done for PSDS and for us. Next, we have Geeta Sahu ma'am, our pillar of support, the one who helps us achieve all of these results. So ma'am, through this journey that me, Varun, Yash, Vanchika, and I have had in PSDS, and even in the Imitation Game, I have not enough words to thank you. So ma'am, it has been a great privilege working with you, and thank you for all the support that you gave us for the Imitation Game and the other events as well. Next up, guys, we have the OC. So, you know, aside from us mentors, it was actually the OC, the event heads and the sub-event heads, and a couple of volunteers working under them who made this event what it is, who put it together, and who brought it forward as a success. So I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge their efforts. So my event heads, that's Kanchan, Rucha, and Mosh, and sub-event heads, who are the juniors basically, Danish, Kalian, Armana, and Samisha, you guys have done an amazing job. And I am really proud of you, because initially, okay, so this was the last event, and we knew that we had to do this event ever since like January. So you know how people tend to slack off work and have this attitude that, okay, this is the last event, let us work for it only at the last moment. But I'm happy to say that this is not what my team was like. Yash and I, we made sure that the team works together, even though there were some hurdles initially that we had, but we were able to get the team together and everyone work in sync. So I'm so proud of you guys for having put this event together so well. Next, we have the volunteers, yes, all of the timekeepers, the people who are recording, the people who have been taking screenshots, photos. A big thank you to all of you, because you are as much of an integral part as all the others. Last but not the least, I have the participants to thank, who were the real life of this event. Because as I said, no matter how well the event was organized, it was you who brought life to it. It was you via your character embodiment that made it so great. So thank you, guys. And once again, thank you to the audience as well, who made time and joined us for this event. So with this, before we call off the cuff to a close, I would now like to call upon Vanchika Mithani and Manushesh Rao, our chairpersons, to do the honors, address the audience, and then call off the cuff to a close.
Thank you, Ayan. I think merely hearing the words call off the cuff to a close, or listening to Geeta ma'am, I think got us all in such a emotional moment. Like, because till now we all were like, okay, work, and we have this event and this deadline to meet, that it didn't sink in. So Manu's asking me whether I'm crying in the chat box. No, I'm not crying, Manu. But yeah, I think to do justice to what I think all the vice presidents have already said, it is a bittersweet moment. We come to the end of our magnum opus, and it is a cue for me to take the opportunity and commend the work of all the PSDS team members for the academic year. This year has been exceptionally enriching, and all of this is because of the team we've had on board, the kind of mentoring we've gotten from our faculty member, Geeta Sahu ma'am, the support we've gotten from her, the kind of support we've gotten from college, from our principal, and of course, even the SYs who joined so recently, that this has become such a close-knit part of our family. And when I say I'm grateful for the team, I mean they did not do events just for the sake of it. We have two flagship events, the Freshers Brigade and Off the Cuff, which we finished 6 events before Off the Cuff itself. But to then say, okay, we want to embark upon this journey where it's going to be 4 months instead of getting done in 2 days or 3 days. I think that was the theme. I think when we put forth the idea and the way it was accepted, and when Manu and I initially said, okay, we'll do these events spread out across these months and 5 national events after already finishing 6 events that the team had worked really hard on, we were like, okay, let's see how the idea is accepted. But I think they did. I can't even put in words an understatement to say that they did justice. The 11 events, 2 intercollegiate fests, launching a national event series, getting international participation, getting IIMs and IITs to say, come collaborate with us. Very recently, we got Hansard College saying, we want to come not only participate, collaborate, get Snapchat India. I think these are all just that the list goes on because of what the team, the kind of hard work they put in. And now to know that we're transitioning the core and that they'll take up and they'll do even better and they'll do full justice living up to the legacy that we've been lucky enough to create this year. I think we spoke about it in the beginning. They've recently won 2 big podiums for college at not only PSDS level, but it was an intercollegiate one. So they won as a college, they kept the HR flag high. So I couldn't have asked for a better team. This is also the last time this board would be addressing as presidents, vice presidents, and HODs. So it is just, it means a lot more to us than just an address at the end of an event. We really are grateful for the myriad of opportunities that the club has gotten, and we couldn't be more grateful for the teachers, for the support that we've gotten, the learning. There have been so many times that we've learned. So I think everyone here, all the 4 members, I don't think we're the same people we were when we started. And I think we've just grown so much more, learned so much from the people we have around us. So yeah, thank you everyone. And thank you for making the last grand finale of Off the Cuff as much of a success as the events that preceded it. And with that, I'd like to call upon Manfred, the co-chairperson for the year and the best co-person we could ask for, to take it forward.
Thank you very much, Vanshika. Guys, I will try to keep myself a little short, even though I belong to the Public Speaking and Debating Society. I think if Vanshika would have spoken for 1 more minute, there would have been tears rolling down her eyes, and we would have had to have a very different kind of meeting. But no, really in conclusion, it's been an amazing year here at PSDS. Never thought when we took upon the mantle as presidents and vice presidents that we would have one of the most successful years that this club has ever seen in college. And the matter of the fact is, we've all worked so closely together. And I do feel like this club has become a family this year, but none of us have even met each other. Forget the entire club. I've met only 3 people from among the presidents and vice presidents. If we cannot respect anything, let us give ourselves a round of applause for the fact that we've worked so hard this entire year, finished a 5-series national level extravaganza, done so many events, boosted our following online by more than 1,000%, launched a YouTube channel, had collaborations with Snapchat, all of this while never once meeting each other. I will see Adit on the street tomorrow, and I'll think, is it him or is it General Aladeen? I'll see Ayan, Vanshika. I mean, that in itself is such a huge achievement. All of us today might not even be in the same city. We're spread across the country, but the fact that we've come together to manage this and to make this year a success, hats off to everyone. Really hats off to everyone. I have written my points down. Again, like I said, I'll try to be a little succinct. We've been here since 2 o'clock. The entire team has worked so hard. I can see on everyone's faces the level of excitement that was there at the start of month 1 for Off the Cuff to all the way now. It's the same. It's the same level of excitement. I know that this year has been difficult, but let me tell you, on behalf of myself, Vanshika, Ayan, Yash, Varun, we are promising you right now, when the pandemic is over, when the lockdown is over, we're taking you guys for a treat. You guys have been a phenomenal team. Please hold me to that promise. I'll take you to a cheaper restaurant. Don't worry, we'll not spend too much money. Please, amazing working with you guys. I can't wait for next year's team to take over. I would be a little sadder in saying this, but you guys, the FYs, have surpassed all of our expectations. I'm so very sure that next year, whether online, whether offline, you guys will do an amazing job. So all of you need to stay tuned because we do have a few surprises coming up. And we do have very, very exciting things coming up in the next couple of days. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, in conclusion, excellent team, excellent year. No, weird year, excellent team. Can't wait to meet all of you in person. And thank you for making me president, Geeta ma'am. None of us would be here without you. I'm sure I'm being very informal right now, but it's my last speech. Who's gonna judge me after this? So thank you very much. Thank you everyone. Like I said, can't wait to meet you. Vanshika is on her head. She's gonna shout at me after this. I'm very sure. So yeah, thank you very much. And now we have a special surprise. We have our very own vice chairperson Yash Rajani, who is going to be reciting a poem that he's written himself about the club, about the fest to end this. And I can promise you guys, never before have you been to a fest which has ended with a poetic ending. Please, Yash Rajani, enthrall all of us. I can't wait.
Thank you, Manu. I think we're all really emotional because like last event ever for PSDS for a lot of us. So this poem is called A Grossy List of PSDS. And you are going to notice quite a few references here. So like, let me know when you do. It is beautiful balancing on the precipice of endings. When those standing on the ledge of closure look back, we reflect in fondness and nostalgia, heartache and glee, in all our effort and pausing company, in success and tired sighs, in gratefulness and fresh breaths, those with the taste of salty morning breeze. Because the beauty of endings isn't actually an ending. Endings lead to new beginnings, new mornings, new events, new festivities, unfamiliar hosts, contrasting ideas, unique identities. Different chief guests, distinct remarks made off the cuff, fresh faces discovered, a new talk of the town. Late night conversations again that tickle your funny bones. Another degree online and you request, unmute me. Having freshers debates and your principal joins even though she's in her car. Learning the language of leadership only for the webinar to be a super hit. Making a Snapchat filter and an Instagram one, turning out to have a lot of fun. Discussions that turn into arguments and you duel your disputes. An icebreaker session, but we always use Richa Zoom. Approving every event from this club's backbone, Mrs. Geeta Sahu. A eureka as you write, but you spill the ink, boohoo. Learning from the best of others, upping your imitation game. Hosting a national level event series. Getting asked to collab with the IITs. Reflecting one last time as you descend into the ending. One last thought, that you are arguably the best. Thank you so much for coming for Off the Cuff. It has truly been a journey.
Vanshika, are you ready? Guys, I have a preface. This is the ending. Believe me, this is the final ending. You guys can get up after this. Before what we're about to do, I asked Vanshika whether we should do this because I thought it was a little corny, but I guess it's only befitting to end this huge series and this national extravaganza in this manner. And I sincerely hope that next year's team gets to do the exact same thing, gets to say the exact same thing we're saying right now, but in an offline manner. So Vanshika, without further ado, we have our scripts ready. Let's say the final line.
Yes, just before we do that, I think yeah, before we do that, I think we couldn't have asked for a better ending for this because of I think it took us all down the memory lane with all the fun. So I think we'd like to have this go up on social media. We'll create for them to go up. So it'll be an awesome end. I think it's the first time. And a core committee, after we announce this, please wait back after we're done with that. After Manu and I, we're hyping up so much, it's only one line, but please wait back. We don't want to talk. Yes, so Manu, the count of three. We announce off the cuff
of 2021
officially closed. So with that, thank you everyone. And we'd like to request the core committee to wait back, the PSDS team to wait back. And thank you to all the audience that tuned in today. I hope you enjoyed as much as we did. Technical team, if you could assist us with having only the PSDS team in the room.
And we can stop the live streaming. I don't think anyone wants to see the next.
Geeta ma'am, we have only the PSDS team here now. Ma'am,